Good morning. It's 9:01. I'm looking for somebody to give us a prayer. You want to give us a prayer? Do it. And you can give us also the pledge.
Bow our heads. Oh, Heavenly Father, thank you for waking us up this morning in our right mind and giving us the ability to come here, Lord. Lord, we ask you to watch over us today as we conduct the business of the county. Let us do what's best for the county and put aside personal beliefs for the betterment of the county. These things we ask in Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next on the agenda, we're going to have approval of the minutes for July 2026.
So moved.
We got a motion by Supervisor Wilson. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Supervisor Gaines. Any discussion?
Yes, ma'am, Madam President. I don't know if I got the right minutes or not, but it say July the 6th, 2020. You got Joe Murray name on it, and I don't know if that's the right minutes.
It probably is, it probably just didn't go back and change the dates.
You think it's the right minutes?
I probably just didn't go back and change the date on it.
I'm thinking.
Nah, it's not the right minutes.
Is that?
I wasn't here. Excuse me for cutting in. But it's got me on the phone call. Like, we was here. Yeah, I seen that we was ready.
This guy,
So it's got the other minutes.
well, on the 6th, it's got Judge Letty Blackman Sanders and all this on here. I know this,
That's not.
So that's July 6th you're talking about?
July 6th, yes, ma'am. And, for the other minutes, July 20 minutes, I was supposed to been on the phone, cause I was out of town and, I had called in, but I didn't get in till 9:18 or 9:20 or something like that. And, I heard Miss Kim and Miss Allen and I think it was Mr. George, the engineer, and that's when I noticed that when I tried to respond, I couldn't respond. And I hung up the phone and called back, but I couldn't get an answer. So then I called a couple people up here, I guess they was involved in the meeting and didn't answer. I wasn't able to vote on the sheriff and the airport director and part of the engineer vote. But since I wasn't at the meeting, I decided to watch the video of the meeting. And in the process of watching the video of the meeting, I got kind of confused with the minutes, because it seemed like to me the minutes don't add up with what the video played. And what I meant by that is, I called Supervisor Hutchins, and I asked her was she still on the phone during the meeting. She told me yeah. I said, well, I couldn't get back in, and she three-wayed me back in, so that's the reason I got back in. When I came back in, they was already in executive session talking with Chandler. And I understand that part, but after that, after the conversation with Chandler, to my knowledge, I thought that part of the meeting was over with, because it was asked, did we have anything else to discuss? And they said no, but when I look at the minutes says Supervisor Gaines requested a closed determination upon the question of whether to go into executive session. And they got me down voting for that too, which I didn't vote for that because I wasn't on the problem. Then the meeting went into executive session. Now, Scott, you need to help me with this. I see the part where when Chandler was discussing, and then you got another portion of this thing said that a motion was made by Supervisor Middleton, second by Supervisor Wilson, and unanimously carried to approve the financial consultant agreement at $50 an hour for a period of 3 months to train the new county administrator. Now, this part kind of confused me. Then it said the motion was made by Supervisor Wilson and second by Supervisor Gaines and returned to open session. Then, in open session, a motion was made by Supervisor Gaines and second by Supervisor Wilson. Excuse me. Unanimously carried to approve financial consulting agreement in a rate of $40 an hour, not to exceed 30 days for the training of the inventory clerk / administrative assistant. So my question is, was we in executive session or was we in whatever when all this took place?
I know we discussed training in executive session, and I thought we had approved training in executive session, but the minutes are saying we did not.
I don't recall. I was on the phone too in executive session, and I don't recall neither one of them being brought up in executive session, because I recall after executive session, I asked, is this all, everything? And I was told yes. So I hung up. And then those things had to occur after executive session. So I was not, and I saw that I was a part of the after executive session. I wasn't. To approve the students. They said we're not exposed, so it was.
Well, my only thing I'm saying is they say unanimously carry. I did not make a vote on neither one of those issues, so that's what I want to clarify. I didn't make a vote.
Okay, if you're saying you were not present, and you were not present during that time, you have a motion to correct that you were not present in the minutes. That's number one. Number two, when we do phone conversations from now on, votes need to be A or nay on the phone line before we, carry them. Nonetheless, if there was 3 people, it's still quorum, and it was still an affirmative vote. But if y'all want to correct the minutes, then you need to make a motion to correct the minutes to reflect that.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna make a motion to correct the minutes to reflect that we wasn't in there.
I was not present after the
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried. Okay, approval of the docket. Can I get a motion?
So
Got a motion by Supervisor Middleton. Can I get a second? Second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion?
I got it. This is the airport director here. Scott, maybe you can help me out with this, with the money that we approved. That's grant, right? That's a grant.
It might have, what are we talking about?
This is 1.5 million. Is this a grant? And the one above that one, that ain't coming out of our general funds. And if it is,
It's Fund 100, so that would be out of the airport fund.
is that the airport?
Yeah, this is from Thrash, which is for the terminal, which some or most of that money is coming out of your grant, but not all of it will come out of the grant. We may have a shortfall on some of that contract.
I'm just making sure.
That's not out of your general fund, that's Fund 100.
Thank you, ma'am.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried. Next on the agenda is approval of the financial reports. We're gonna do them all together. That's the Adams County Sheriff Department, the Chancery Clerk, and the purchasing report. Can I get a motion? Got a motion by Supervisor Middleton and a second by Supervisor Gaines. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried. Next, we're gonna do the tax objections. Because we got someone that needs to lead.
Yeah, Madam President, we can make a motion to find that we have advertised appropriately, this board has jurisdiction to hold itself for tax objections.
Okay, need a motion for that?
So moved.
Got a motion by Supervisor Middleton and a second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried.
And Madam President, there's one constituent that needed to go
Yeah, Ms.
urgent.
Baptiste, Beach. I don't know why I called her.
Yes, ma'am, I like to object to the tax assessment on my property,
Okay,
if you don't mind.
I need an
My name is-
address.
My name is Phyllis Beach.
okay,
I live at 35 Hedges Plantation Place in Natchez.
okay.
I have another parcel of property on the Adams-Franklin County line that I'd like to dispute. I have a letter of opposition and supporting documentation, if I may present it to the board.
Yes. This one. I think that's all you need to do is hand us these and we'll look over them and we'll get back with you on it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other objections? Okay.
Hi, Marsha Passman, 549 Highway 61 South. If you went to the grocery store and took out a loan and bought some ground beef, and when you got to the register, they charged you for 2, you would ask for a refund. If they said, no, but the next time you come in, we won't overcharge you, you'd be a little upset. Well, what I was told was that on my taxes for this year, it was a computer glitch that failed to acknowledge my homestead exemption, and I was overcharged by more than $900. And that next year, that would be taken care of. Not refunded to me, but just next year would be corrected. Well, to me, that's not right. Y'all have my money that I paid in December, and I have documentation of all of this. This, I was told, was not y'all's fault. Well, I understand, but it was your computer, not mine. So I respectfully request a refund of my taxes that I overpaid because my homestead exemption was not recognized. And I appreciate it being recognized for next year, but I would like it recognized for this year also.
Okay.
And I have the documentation for my homestead exemption, my check, and I only have one copy.
We see it from Ms. Peggy.
Oh, that's what I was saying,
She did overpay. She did overpay. She did.
There was a glitch in the system where instead of freezing her home value, it froze her homestead allowance on the 65 and older. So she overpaid by a little over it's $965 and some change.
Okay.
And I have the figures on that in this folder that I can get you a copy of as well.
So to this board to whether we,
Is that something we're gonna approve in a minute and give her a
I do
refund?
not have a board order on that because that's coming from the collector. And my understanding is because it's a refund, it would have to come out of the collector's office and not our office for the board orders.
She's already paid, is that?
She's already paid for 2025, and this was it was a glitch in the computer system, but I do have the figures for what she should have paid compared to that. And I've talked to Phil at Delta, and they've corrected the issue in the system for the 2026 year, but 2025, I couldn't, that's, being that it was paid, it had to go through Terrence, was my understanding.
Okay, Scott, what we need to do to try to get her refund back?
Yeah, she's within the time to get a refund if she overpaid her taxes.
Yeah, it's $965.23 is what the overpayment was.
All right, can I get a motion? Got a motion by Supervisor Middleton, second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion?
And this isn't actually an objection to the valuation of the homestead. This is an erroneous tax payment that needs to be refunded, which is a 3-year statute of limitations.
Do you all need a copy of this?
I think we've
Yes,
got
we
You do have it.
your written objection.
Thank you.
Madam,
Go
you
ahead.
still under discussion?
Yeah, we in-
Madam President, Scott, is it a process in place when somebody overpay their money where they can go through where they can get their money back instead of coming here, or do they have to come here?
Go back and pull the statutes, it's been a few years since we did it. It might be where you go through the tax collection office and sign an affidavit and they can refund. That seems to be my memory. And then after a certain point, it would then have to come to us to, it's almost a lawsuit for approving the settlement of the suit.
Thank you.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried. Thank you. You next.
Yes, ma'am.
You need to go to the podium.
Yes.
Buddy, you gonna make sure she gets out all right now?
Thank you all, sorry.
Good morning, Board. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
State your name
My
and
is
your
Greg-
address.
okay, yeah. My name is Gregory Watkins. I'm a resident at 241, I'm not that one, another one, 103 Briarwood Road here in Natchez. And I've been following articles. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, but I filed a straw to come here. I've gone to several people and talked to several ones, the tax assessor's office about my taxes. Sat down in there, talked to the young man in there about the situation and try to see the formal process where it's one could, like just noted, the process is still out something, documentation saying that this is a problem, could you fix it? And that's seeing that in place, and not have paperwork where you can protest, a contest, or whatever word you want to use, against your taxes increase, against the property value increase. That kind of formal process. So I was not able to determine from a formal process, a paper I could fill out that took my name and phone number and said they'll call me. And so the next step is, I'm still waiting on a phone call. I received one phone call, says somebody's got to call me. And so I put the name on the list to be here to talk to you all because I reported me in the paper saying that you had something to do with it regarding the administrators and all of that. And I understand that today was August 3rd was the tax assessor going to come over and do something here too as well, per the papers. So I'm trying to follow up and get understand the thing fully. But taxes value, my increase in 1 year was 28%, and I'm thinking that that's a little too much over 1 year, and that took my taxes up by 27% for 1 year, and that also caused an increase in your mortgage payments. Because of all of this, because shortages in your escrow accounts. And so I'm just trying to see if anything being done, what can I do to formally let it be known that I got my name signed on, saying this is what I got a problem with, what happened. I haven't signed my name anywhere yet, just to let you know that I got a problem. So somebody can try to help me or assist me. I'm not sure if you're the one to do it. I'm trying to hear out of you.
Yes, sir.
To talk to people.
So where we're doing right now is anyone that has seen the valuation for this upcoming tax year for 26, if you think it's overtaxed or erroneously assessed, you need to file a written objection to that value. So if you've looked at it and you think it's too high, then you would put something in writing that you think it's too high, explain why you object. The board could then take a look at it like they do with all the rest of them. And if they agree with you, they would sustain their objection and lower the assessment. Or if they disagree, they would, reject the objection. But if you don't file a written objection now, then the tax assessor's office and the board can discretionarily lower your taxes for up until the next Monday, August meeting, but it's no longer mandatory. At this particular point, any objection that y'all file is mandatory. This board has to review it and make a decision versus a discretionary right. So if you want to make this board have to review your objection, then you need to put it in writing and submit why. And you need to do it because after the end of this, this meeting, so to speak, then it's no longer your right to it, it just becomes discretionary. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I wish I was told that. So I got to submit in writing today.
Yes, sir.
This
So
meeting.
what I would suggest to you is
At
put
this
something
meeting.
in writing real fast and
So,
get to
so,
it.
so this is just not coming to the meeting and.
You have to also, so you have to put it in writing,
So
and
it's
you have to come to
official.
the meeting.
Okay, so, okay.
You can do it
I would go out.
back there
Yeah.
at the table or to the right.
Yeah.
Just write it down and come back up
That's what
here.
you're objecting on.
I like just put them on paper. I just take things through, process and type it up, and that's why I get you all and get my church information. I don't just put stuff in this haphazard, just writing, something that I got a problem. I need to know detail, information. So I got to go forward another day to do this.
By law, it has to have a written objection filed today to keep that right. You still discretionarily can do it, and we alter evaluations of taxes throughout the year 14, 15 times in a year. So it still happens, but if you want to mandate that the board does it, you need to put it in writing.
All right.
But be as simply as what you said, just put it in writing and send it to us.
Look, this is what you sent me. Could I get the secretary to write this out, print it out, where I could get to the people that don't understand what's going on, where they can easily fill it out? I'll do that.
Give him a copy of it.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you probably need to step over there with him and get that copy.
If I make, when we do the taxes right now, you're not another separate right now, another matter. I can just remind you of another matter.
This is, so right now, we're just hearing tax.
I got you. I'll come back and sit down and wait for the other one then.
You can come back and say it during public
Right,
comment.
thank you. Thank you.
All right, do we have any other tax agenda?
Yes.
You have one?
Bedford Paul Elder, I'm at 68 St. Catherine. From the value of what I paid for the building to what the taxes are, it's quite a bit. So I guess I need to do the same things, just fill out a paper. Whenever I fill out the paper, I'll be called back to bring like appraisals or anything like that. And does that matter? Does that help?
We have something written in writing that you signed that says that you want to contest your tax evaluation.
Right.
What is your, what's wrong with the tax evaluation?
Was too high?
Okay. Please explain.
Well, I bought the property for $100,000. I'm being taxed at $181,000, and I haven't even had the property 4 years or so. As a matter of fact, Mr. Bernie Power told me last night when I saw him in the hallway that I need to take care of this.
You bought it for $100,000, it's being taxed at $180,000. 81,000.
Right.
Is this Bernie Power's old
Yeah.
furniture shop?
Right.
You do the woodwork there?
Yes, sir.
And can you give me a mailing address if you don't?
668 St. Catherine.
668, okay, 668 Catherine, so it's right in there. Do you have a phone number?
504.
What's your name again, sir?
Bedford Paul Elder, E-L-D-E-R.
Did you get a closing statement or anything like that as to when you bought the property?
I'll have to get that together.
And that's okay, you can bring more documents to you, this board actually can request you to bring those documents to you, and then when we can take it under advisement and consider that.
If I need a closing statement.
Any proof that you paid $100,000.
Okay, I got it.
And that was 4 years ago?
Approximately, maybe. I'm terrible with time.
21. 2021.
It was a couple of days before Mr. Bernie left the earth. So, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. Is that it? Do I just need to go fill out one of the papers there for her?
You don't need to tell anything, you got a written
Yeah.
objection, I got your address and phone number. If you can bring the documents to Randy Lewis's office, the clerk's office.
Okay.
Randy
Lewis?
Can take it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the Chancery Clerk.
In the
Okay.
courthouse.
And that just in the next couple of days,
So in the next couple of days, it's at least before the next meeting.
which is
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay. Thank you.
If you do not, then the board can conclude against you for not bringing that.
Okay. Not a
And
problem.
if there's anything else that you think we need to consider, you can bring
I
it.
guess like an appraisal or something.
What's that?
Would an appraisal help or y'all not really based on?
Probably would, yeah.
Let me ask you, the taxes are based on replacement value or value, what?
Well, it's based on 3 different things, depending on what's relevant. The use of the property, so if it's a, business, it generates income, you be taxed on that. It's based on the market value, and then it's based on the cost value. And you're supposed to reconcile those 3 together.
And the
Sometimes
cost-
use is simply not relevant if it's a residence, for instance.
Right.
And you reconcile them together, and it's a true value based on that.
And the cost value is that's a replacement basically? What
It's
it
a
would cost to
replacement value,
rebuild
yes. You
it?
take the cost new minus depreciation.
Okay. And if I had insurance and if it burnt down and I decided not to replace it, just keep the insurance, then the property would be taxed at way less, correct?
Probably, yes.
Yes, sir.
They usually knock it down to virtually nothing.
Yes, sir.
So I don't understand why they want to tax me for replacement. But then I'll get.
Okay, because the law says
I understand.
we have 3 different values: cost value, we have market value, we have use. By law, we have to use all 3 of those values, and we have to do what's fair and come up with a true value.
Okay.
That's what the statute says.
Well, good. I'll take my shots and hope we get there. Thank y'all.
All right, thank you. Next.
Would you let Ms. Baptiste go?
Good morning,
I
everybody.
gotta go to the podium.
Do I have to go?
Yes. And state your name and your address.
Okay.
Okay.
Excuse me. Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good morning. I am Lee Pearl Betty. My address is 201 Alabama Street. My situation is a little different. I have several rental properties. I took my sheets to Chancery Clerk last week for my properties that I have. I'm a widowed woman. I wrote a check for $21,000 for taxes, and I can't afford it. So what I did, my reason is the taxes are too high. And I want you all to look at it and lower my taxes if you can.
You got something to start in there, Ms. Betty?
Yeah, she filed all her tax cards and her taxes.
Yeah, I did. I went to the Chancery Clerk with it because that's where they told me to take it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We'll look
You
at
are
it.
preserved, so we have to look at that.
You gotta look at it.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Baptiste. Anyone else?
Good morning. My name is Johnny Jackson, Pastor Jackson. I just turned 65. I lived at my residence at 45 Sarah Gunster Road for 30 years. My house burnt down in 2023. Took me approximately 2 years to build it back. Well, Peter and Paul to build it back. I built it on the same foundation, the slab. And I was paying approximately $1,500 a year. And $1,500 a year went to $5,800 or $5,600. I don't understand that. If I had a double the size of the house, they should have been $3,000. So I need somebody to explain to me that, if you would.
Susan, your objection, you just moved into the home in 2026, so were you living in the?
I just moved back in it at the first of the year.
Okay.
So
Was it
I'll-
after the January 1st or before January 1st of
It was
26?
after January I moved back in. And so I paid property tax for 2 years at $120 without the house being complete. And someone was trying to explain to me about the property value, and I understand, I'm a contractor. And I got trailers, burnt out houses all around me. And I don't know if somebody value my property, what they value it at, I'd like to sell it to them. And so that's my grievance.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So we can,
We'll look at it.
we have to look at it and see what's going on and usually make these decisions at the next meeting.
And I thank y'all for hearing that. I never thought it was necessary to come to a meeting like this, but I think I'm gonna start attending some too, so I can have a better understanding of how you arrive at what you do.
Thank you. Got anyone else?
I'm Susan Marlowe. I live at 3 Erie Circle. I'm not actually here to protest the assessments. I'm here to remind the board that at the last meeting when these taxes went up so horrendously, that every one of you agreed that you were going to decrease the millage. And I just want to make sure that that gets done so that everybody's taxes come down.
Yeah, we'll look at that during budget time. Okay. Thank you. Anyone else?
Madam President, let me say this. What happened last year with everybody's taxes, they went up tremendously. And like the young lady said, that if this board said that we was gonna look into adjusting the millage down. I hope we don't ever have another year like that, because Mississippi Department of Revenue made us do something that we haven't did since I've been on this board. And it's ways that we could have handled it, but we didn't. So we take the blame for that. Now that you know better, you got to do better. And we could have found a way, because it says it right here, to look into lowering your millage after we got all that increase that we got from your taxes being high. What should have happened, we should have found a way to lower the millage to adjust what you're talking about, but we didn't. So hopefully, we still got some of that money. I've been asking about that money. It was about over $2 million, wasn't it? Well, I can help you out since you don't know. I can tell you what it was. What it was, the Board of Supervisors now operating under the project total budget revenue of $32,587,000, 57% of $18,823,000 was Avalon taxes. Next year, physical taxes proposed budget was $35,300,000. Of that amount, 59%, $21.94 million. So if you do the math from 21 to 18, that's almost $2 million. So
Whether that was received or not,
I don't know whether we received, I'm just going by the notice and what they said. And that's the reason everybody coming in, well, not everybody, because this room should have been standing room only like it was last time, but we know better, so we're gonna have to do better.
And then, you want to say something?
Yeah, everybody got hit pretty hard last year, including myself. When nobody came to the meeting like this last year and complained about the taxes, like, because they didn't know the system. I didn't even know it. I've never complained about tax all these years. I've owned rental property and stuff, but I watched it, mine go up from, I've heard Ms. Baptiste say hers went up a lot to $21,000. Mine went from like $95,000 to $125,000 on my rental properties and what have you. So it was a big kick for everybody. And I know more people's mortgage rates went up and where they couldn't even hardly pay them because of the taxes. Because most people have escrow accounts and the bank's gonna send them a notice and say, your note went up $700 a month or whatever. I know a lot of people got that. So this year, we're gonna be watching that really close, and we're gonna make sure we get that millage dialed in a lot better this year than it was last year.
Okay.
Can I say one more thing? One more thing.
Go ahead.
Go to the mic.
One thing that I noticed happened in my taxes, they didn't do my homestead. So I didn't know that I had to come back and redo because my house is homestead. So
That was in your written objection. I did kind of star on that one too. Yes, sir.
It's just like Supervisor Wilson said, in the past, this happened one time for it to go up that high. So everybody thought they're supposed to go to the tax assessor's office, but after July, after that first Monday, everybody's supposed to come here. And that didn't get to the public like it's supposed to get, so everybody's study was going down there when these notices was in the newspaper right here. Deadline July 31st, change tax assessments, and then they had a little small one in the newspaper from Hughes' office. Maybe it need to be a little bigger where people could see it, and it says the same thing after July, you come here, not over there. So I went back and got these two articles out the newspaper, so they are in the newspaper. Now this one is big where people can see it, but I better can see this and I'm looking right up on it. So it need to be a little bigger, Ms. Kim.
Yes, sir.
I mean, real big.
I will make sure to relay that message.
Thank you, Madam President.
And one of those is statutorily required and it tells you how big it has to be and all that. I don't know which one you're talking about. Yeah, the other one's.
Nah, this is just a newspaper article right here. That's the public notice. This is the one. So you say the law says it had to be this
It
small?
specifies how big it doesn't need to be in the legal section.
But it can be bigger.
We'll pull it up and make it as big as we can lawfully allow. How about that?
If I was a taxpayer, I mean, how many houses you got?
40 or 50.
If I had 40 or 50 houses and they put something like this in the newspaper, the first thing gonna come to my mind, they don't want me to find this out. Because it's so small, everybody can't read this little small writing, Scott. It need to be, well, if you're gonna put it this small, put it all in black. Then maybe they can see it. Bold black.
We'll make it as big as we can next year. How about that?
Any other tax
Tax
objections?
assessors, that was ours. Which, how big is ours?
This has to be 12. 12.
Yes,
It's
yes.
not too big.
That's it.
That's
Well,
Is that the millage or is that?
Yeah, this is millage.
No, that one's not.
That's not
That one also is by statute.
But people can read this.
They can. That's the tax assessors.
Either way, we can certainly have another advertisement too that's even bigger,
Yeah.
while complying with the statute.
Hi, my name's Tabitha Roden, and I would just like to know if y'all have the date set that you're gonna have the supervisors meeting for the millage decrease that we were told we would receive this year coming up.
First, let me ask you what your address is.
1 Cemetery Road, Natchez, Mississippi.
Okay. Now, her question was, do we have the date set? No, because we have not even did budget yet.
It has to be honored before the 15th, So depending on when your newspaper advertisements goes, that's usually, when you pick that, and it's the latest or furthest date to the 15th, is typically it. Often on the 15th.
Madam President, so at the end of the day, I guess what she's talking about, when we get the information, how do we get it to the citizens? Where if they want to come back down here, whatever they want to do, how do we get it to them? That's what they want to know. How do we get this information to them?
Well, I believe that our administrative assistant, at least in the past, keeps a list of people that want to be noticed at any and all meetings that we have. They certainly can ask if they want to be on it just in general. Or if they want to have our administrative assistant take a list of anyone who wants to know when that date's been set. We can certainly do that. And then we're required by law to advertise before setting a millage and adopting a budget.
Because we usually have to have the budget adopted by October 1.
The budget starts October 1. The budget has to be adopted on the 15th as well, isn't that right?
15th, yeah. It starts October 1, so we'll know somebody in by September 15th.
We have several written objections that haven't stood up or said anything. We have JT Robinson had a written objection. You have Cheryl, I can't read it. Randall, Miss Randall. I can't read the. Shamika Randall. Florence Argus. And Old Bridge Place LLC and Vision Place LLC. There's some written objections to them. Is anyone here for those? Would you let the minister reflect that I'm recusing myself?
Yeah, my name is J.T. Robinson Marshall. Thank you guys. I want to thank you guys for giving me an opportunity to speak, and I'm also here to represent Shanika Randall because she couldn't get out from work. My primary objective that I have this morning is I noticed a statement was made as to why this room wasn't full because of the amount of people that have been complaining. The thing that I noticed most of all is that we as citizens have been told that the board, through the attorney, said that you had to have 2 outside appraisals to show up here. Now, I've checked, I couldn't find that, but I was shown a video of what that was being told. Now, what people are not realizing is that if you get 2 outside appraisals, 3/4 of the time, as an individual, you're paying more for the appraisal than the tax rates. So I need clarity on that. The next question that I need clarity on is the people that are being elected as assessors. We go through 3 different people. We go through Mr. Hughes, Ms. Kim, and also the guy named Wayne. When you ask the question, it has to go back through 3 different people. And then we end up here that appears to be just a formality. Because when we get answers as citizens, they seem not to go anywhere. And I was reluctant to coming up today because I don't have 2 outside appraisals. But I am concerned as to how you can retire and then 10 years later they can come back and say, well, you have a building that we missed. So we're gonna add that to you, not including the $75,000 over what your place appraised for. We're gonna add that building that was there when I turned 65 or became 100% disabled. These kind of questions, they never get answered. So my first question is it the board's position to say that you have to have 2 appraisals that's being told? And I need an answer to that today.
Madam President, where you get the information?
That came out of, I was told directly that by Mr. Hughes, and then Ms. Kim backed it up. So I just need to know, is that the truth, or is that another gossip thing?
Well, maybe they have to answer that.
The last meeting, I came for a board order for someone, and I had 1 appraisal. And at that time, I had the appraisal with that board order, and at that time, Mr. Slover said, we require to, and it's a little over 20 minutes into that video, where you can see Mr. Slover on the YouTube video, where he says normally it's 2 appraisals. but apparently they, you know, they accepted one and they had the leeway to do that. That was the second time that had been said. Back in February or March, when everybody came in questioning their assessment values, it was also said at that time that we needed 2 appraisals. Since then, and said Friday after Mr. Robinson was in our office, we spoke with Mr. Herring, and Mr. Herring has informed us that we do not need 2 appraisals. But it was on, I was the one able to pull up from Mr. Robinson Friday, the meeting, the last meeting where it was stated that we needed 2 appraisals.
Well, I don't know how you get to the bottom of this, it's got accused yourself of being in here, so.
Okay, Supervisor Wilson.
I guess because he talked to Mr. JT, but I agree with him 100% that he got to pay for an appraisal. I mean, some of them are $500. I don't know. We got a realtor back here that could tell you for sure, but you end up paying $1,000 for 2 appraisals, and they're not even necessary because, in theory, you could pull comps. Could you not?
If I have the comp information, yes, but I'm sure that is something that we do head forward to Mr. Herring, that Mr. Herring looks at.
I kind of go by what my house will actually sell for. If I see that you've assessed my property by $50,000 more than I can get for it, I'm like the man that's standing up there a while ago. You can buy it for that much if you'd like.
Absolutely.
Because it just, I've told everybody, we are not in Madison, Mississippi. And what they did to us by making our square footage be the same price as Madison, Mississippi, and Gluckstadt and everywhere else was completely wrong. Because we don't have the interstate going through our place, and we don't have stuff being built all around us. We are a declined population. Everything but the age. The age is going up all the time because the people that have retired here or live here all their lives, they can't afford these things to keep going up and up and up. So I understand all of your points.
Well, not to interrupt you, but the last time this was said and the last time that this was done, I'm old enough to remember that this happened with Steins. And Steins went out and got another appraisal. And I remember Reynolds saying, and it should be in the newspaper, that that was an insult to him to have an outside appraisal come behind him and change what he thought was appropriate. Now, whatever became of that, I don't know. But a lot of these people are not financially able to do what Steins did. The other person that I have for the board, I remember a guy that was on in the tax assessor's office named Michael Pace. Now, Michael and I talked, and he said that you guys didn't come up with an agreement on hiring him. But the concern I have was he was qualified. He actually took the time to go out, and if you had a problem, look at it and see what you think is appropriate. Now, for some reason, he wasn't hired. But now, we don't have an elected official that's doing the appraisal. His coming from somebody named Wayne, you know, and then it's coming back down to Kim, and then it's getting to Mr. Hughes, which is, I don't understand how this works, because we've lost the opportunity to have an elected official that will tell you something and you can write it down and be blessed with that's what the answer is. So I'm just trying to understand what we're doing here. I mean, if Wayne is supposed to be the man and Miss Kim comes under him and then Mr. Hughes comes there, when the election time comes, we need to elect one of them because it's a waste of time. If you have to get 3 different answers and the first person don't agree with the second person and you keep going through this, it just seems to be fruitless in terms of you coming here doing what we're doing now. So all I'm asking for, and I don't mean no disrespect to nobody, is when you get a certain age and you have property, you need to be able to know approximately what you're paying per property in order to keep it. Because when you go to the tax assessors, it's people that are not financially, when you go to the sale, it's people that are not financially able to know that they're about to lose their property in terms of the tax being raised or whatever. Now, you don't see certain properties up for sale, but you see the weaker people property that goes up for sale. So when we're doing this, this needs to be considered where it's across the board. I don't want special treatment from anybody at any time, but I want it to be fair. That's all I'm asking. You know, and then when you come up with these excuses, when you're overtaxed, it takes an act of Congress to get your money back. So that's all I'm asking. Thank you for your time.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
You made a very valid point there about it going through 3 or 4 different hands there. But what people have to do is they have to pay attention to what's going on in their communities all the time. When there's offices being held or being ran for, find out who's the most qualified candidate. And sometimes that's not what's done. It's just whoever's the most popular or whatever. And maybe they don't have any qualifications. But
I agree.
people have to pay attention. Most people want to come in here after the fact, and then you say, well, did you vote?
Well,
And they'll say no. And you're like, well, because it won't make any difference. It does make a difference if people vote.
but see, when you guys have these private meetings, and I use the terminology private when it's an executive session, and like I said once before, and I'm only doing this through I've had conversations with him, and I'm referring to Mr. Pace. Then we go through all of this, he don't get hired, and we hire somebody else, or we vote for somebody else. And then we make a big circle and come back, that I gotta go ask him to give me an appraisal. That doesn't make any sense to me, because he could have had the job per se, but I understand exactly what you're saying when it comes to the ballot. But a lot of times, you can't determine what somebody can do until you give them a chance. And so
That's true.
I'm just asking for someone to explain to me what situation we're in right now. I mean, who's in charge?
The people are in charge.
Not when
But
they
they have to be informed and they have to vote.
I got you.
And you have to get the right people in the seats.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate your time. Thank you for responding.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
give your address, please.
105 Old Country Club Road is the area that I'm talking about, because they changed that, on that, and then, I think it's 827 Middle Avenue that I wanted to be considered.
The one other thing, Mr. JT.
Yes.
You mentioned another building that was on the property when you bought it and it never assessed it, and then it came back in an assessment. Was it a garage?
Hey, excuse me, we can't hear.
Was it a garage or?
Yes, it was the same building. It was a building that, it's a 30 by 40 shop that was on the building when they initially applied for it. That was in 2009. Okay, now all of a sudden with the new people in the regime here, because I pulled up at the property because I have cameras, and there was this guy sitting there in a truck, and I said, well, who are you? Why are you here? He said, well, I work for Wayne. I said, okay, well, I know Wayne. Then I said, well, why you don't have no signs or anything on your truck? He said, well, I have a new Ford truck, and the signs won't stick on it because they're made out of aluminum. I said, okay, well, that being the case, I guess it's okay for you to be here. But if the situation was in reverse, and I was at his house with no signs or no nothing, it would have been a different ballgame. That's the only reason I'm asking this question. Thank you.
Hopefully they didn't charge you too much for your shop.
They went up and, yeah, excuse me.
No one else? So Scott, come back on.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is James Kenoga Jr. I was here for the last event that we had when we were talking about the taxes.
Let me have your address, please.
125 Woodville Drive, Natchez, Mississippi. Been here since day one. I just want to apologize for being late for the meeting, but want to hear what last time we were here reporting, letting a lot of the citizens know. I'm one of those ones with my dad who's been here in business since 1980, and many of us want to know what, for last time it was said in the meeting that we were going to discuss as a board about possibly applying the charges that were up on so many of us, where taxes went from many of us that may pay $18,000 a year in taxes, went to somewhere close to $40,000 a year. I know, Mr. Wilson, you talked about multiple houses and things that you may have, and us that are in business. Did I miss something because we're late? What's going to be done? Y'all brought it up as a board that you were going to look into it, and we possibly could be credited this year. I believe the deadline was Friday. And it was the 5th time that me and my dad had went across the road over there to meet with the man in charge over there and it was the 5th time that we did not, or were not able to be seen. The light was out and he was not there. We've said multiple times, go over there, meet with them, go meet with Wayne or whoever, and we get an appraisal. What can y'all tell us as a board? What is going to be done, and what are we doing for those of us that try to keep people, hold it please sir, just for a second, those of us that are renting to the elderly, that have been renting apartments for me and my family for 30 years, that because of the increases, these people have been paying $450 a month, now I'm having to go to $650 a month. In the next couple of weeks, when I send those invoices out for $650 a month, they cannot pay them, y'all. So what are we going to do in a failing economy of Natchez? And I've been here since day one of Natchez. Matter of fact, my companies are the ones that put all that software in. I think I told y'all that. We did that as all good business machines. So excuses of this and that and the other, what are we going to do? That's the main thing I just want to know. What are we going to do?
So what we're here today for is to handle objections to the assessments of various properties and taxpayers. And so people that have looked at their tax assessments for the upcoming year and are aggrieved by it can come in here and object to it, and we then, by law, have to review that objection and make a decision. That is where we're at today, looking at your assessed values.
Right.
After that happens, the board will also conduct a public meeting where everyone that wants to talk can talk about the millage, which is the tax rate that'll be assessed. But today, we're here looking at whether the values are, if someone's agreed by their values. If they're agreed by it, then they come, they present their objections, they put it in writing, and then this board takes a look at it and makes a decision.
Gotcha.
That's where we are today.
And did we not agree at the last meeting as far as the millage, and a lot of folks in this room that may not be in business for themselves and truly don't understand it. Is it mandated by state law, and you being the lawyer for everything, with our millage and everything and the appraisals and independent things that are done?
Today is mandated by law. Before we can do assessments,
right,
we have to first conduct the objections to the assessments.
Okay.
So that's what we're doing. Legally, we have to conduct that. And legally, if you file a written objection, we have to consider that objection. After today, it becomes discretionary as to whether an objection is heard or not. However, we handle multiple objections, probably 14, 15 a year, objections on assessed values during that next year. But right now, today, if you're aggrieved by your assessed value, you're here, you file a written objection, and we have to review it to see if it's correct or not. And that's why we're here today. After today, the budget's prepared, and a proposed millage is put out, it's advertised, and we have a public hearing about that millage.
Right.
Your millage is your tax rate. Your tax rate is multiplied by what? By your assessed value. So step one is to determine what your assessed value is. Step two is to multiply it by your millage.
Sure.
So that's where we're at. You're asking about your millage rate, which the board said they're going to adjust, and they've already said that, before you got here.
Okay.
And this was explained before you got here too. But that's not today setting your millage rate. Today is simply hearing objections to assessed values.
Gotcha.
So if you have an objection to your assessed value, you need to put it in writing. If you give it to us today, we'll review it and see if it's correct or not.
Is what we did on Friday with me and my dad going over there, is that objection enough? Or do we need to do it again today?
You have to have it in writing.
Today.
It's all good. They got a paper out there that we ran out that the citizens that have a problem can follow that information on
Yes,
that
sir.
paper. You gotta get it to us today, so we need to get it to us.
We'll do that. Thank y'all very much. Hey, God bless Natchez and the USA. Love y'all.
Any others?
I did want to say one thing. JT Robinson, a minute ago, you mentioned something about executive session, kind of the secret meeting. What we do in executive session is personnel matters that we can't discuss in the open, and contracts and maybe future contracts businesses might be coming here. That's about all we're allowed to do in executive session.
Mr. Wilson, I apologize for using the terminology secret per se, but
It's okay.
but what I meant by that was, for whatever reason, that you don't hire a qualified person per se, and then we make a big loop back to that person to get an appraisal. It just does seem to be mute to me as to, now they have shifted the budget from the city to the individuals, when the city should have made and they should have provided the correct funds, more or less, to the person that was qualified. And that's all I'm saying. I understand what you said about the vote per se, but what I was told that people are being rejected because they felt like the budget was what they were asking for was too high. So then you turn around and have the citizens have to hire this same person to get their taxes back.
I believe what you're talking about is maybe we didn't appoint Michael Pace in the short term before the election.
Yes.
No, we can't do that. That's up to the tax
Right.
assessor.
But now they direct us back to him because that's what he does. He's an appraiser.
Got nothing to do with us,
Yeah,
man. Every elected official run their own office. We can't tell elected officials who to hire, who to fire, how to run their office.
Right.
Once they get elected to all these positions, then they choose their personnel, who they want to work in their office. But for whatever reason, he didn't get chose, I don't know.
But my
But I
question,
do know, but I'm not gonna say it.
but my question is this. When you have a situation now that it's being put off on the citizens. But we have a situation now and we don't know who to elect because we don't know who's in charge. So y'all haven't been able to tell us if Wayne, I'm sorry, I apologize, if Wayne is the guy, if Kim is the lady, or if Larry is the person. So when it comes down to election, we don't know whether to vote for Mr. Hughes, or vote for Kim, or vote for Wayne.
Mr. Robert, no disrespect, that ain't got nothing to do with us.
Okay, so when you guys say you're gonna meet and talk about it,
No,
who's gonna be
who's
qualified?
being elected,
Right,
and all this ain't got nothing to do with us.
right,
Basically, what you're asking is, Kim works for the tax assessor,
right,
okay? Wayne is a contractor.
right.
We contract him to do all the assessments.
Okay.
His office does that. He does it for about 30 counties, I think.
I can relate to that, but I have property also that I've just purchased in Madison originally up there. And I went down and to talk to them, and they claim that for the last 3 years, their properties hasn't changed over $100 more or less per house seat. When I mentioned that here, they said we're in a different area, but we're Mississippi. So, you know.
Once again, you're talking about Madison, which is growing by leaps and bounds. People are coming in, schools are being built. It's like, this is the place to be. Natchez, while we love it, most people aren't just rushing to get here.
We get here, I understand.
And that's why we dropped from 42,000 down to about 25,000 over the last 20 years.
But the question is, if we don't have the job to pay the taxes, we're gonna lose the property.
That's true. I mean, you're fixing to see something like you've never seen before in New York City, and a mass exodus, and property values go in the tank, and people are gonna lose money. So, because of socialism now, just proving they're gonna share the wealth, that doesn't work. When people don't have any incentive to work.
Well, we have
They're
a
not gonna do it.
situation here where you guys, we've met here before, and apparently the conclusion didn't help us on this road for the taxes. We had to pay it. Whatever the mistake was, we had to pay it. Now we're going forward with another year. So I'm like the last gentleman that was up here. I just need to get an understanding, what are we doing?
And one of the things that hadn't been mentioned today was that you can't raise taxes by more than 10%. If you do, then when you get to the 10% mark, that money you can't spend that money. And anything over that, when you're collecting taxes, has to go back to the citizens. And we're working out that now to see if we hit that 10% mark first of all, and everything after that. It goes in escrow, and it'll be applied to people's tax like it's supposed to.
Thank you, sir.
And it goes through your bonds.
Can I ask one question concerning all this?
Reynolds Atkins went out and did the assessments himself, right? Well, why do we have to pay someone? Why does our tax assessor not be required to have that qualification for him to go out and do that?
Mr. Atkins had Mr. Pace to go out and do that.
I'm sorry?
Mr. Pace used to be the one to go out and do it, not Mr. Atkins.
For Mr. Atkins, he didn't go out himself?
After he got to a certain age.
And he was employed
He did.
by the tax
Oh,
assessor?
yeah, to do
Okay,
it.
but now we have somebody on contract, which is probably 10 times as expensive.
You had anything, Supervisor?
No, ma'am.
All right, we have any other objections? Any other? Scott, you had any
Old
other?
Bridge, Vision Place LLC, Stonehurst 1 and 2. Anyone from that?
What's the address?
It's Stonehurst 1, Stonehurst 2.
No one's here for it?
They're at Oxford. It's one of those that's special assessed properties with their tax.
Section 42.
Yeah, section 42, thank you. Ms. Randall,
I already covered that.
It's on the open.
and Florence Argus
It's not here.
doesn't have a property address.
What's the name?
Florence Argus.
Florence Argus.
Argus.
She lives on Grove Acres Road.
She actually has about 8 different properties, and I don't know which one she was referencing when she filed that.
Those are the ones that have written objections.
Okay.
But they're still valid even though they're not here to discuss them.
That's not my interpretation of the law, but we'll look at it. And it's also important, Board, that this is mandatory. We still can adjust and do adjust the values of taxes outside of this objection period too.
Mr. Attorney, what is your interpretation of the law? Because we don't want to break the law.
It says on the, and we're taking all of them, including those that are not here to present their objections under advisement. But in the past, when I pulled the statute, it says you be present and present your objections on that meeting in writing, filed with the clerk.
So if the individual
So
is
we have-
not here, then what?
Well, we'll look again before we make a final decision, because we're taking them all under advisement. It's my advice to you. But if you're not here, that can be grounds for rejecting the objection.
I personally would not reject them because they already took their time out to go to the courthouse and do it and fill out paperwork. So unless it's a drop dead law that we can't do it,
Well,
As long as we
well,
not
my
breaking the
interpretation of the
law.
law, if it's in your discretion to give them some tax relief, we don't have to do it through this particular objection purpose. We can file, the board can, after the assessment's made, you can, within the discretion, adjust their taxes and valuation on a different statute, which doesn't require your presence at a meeting.
a lot of people can't take half a day off. Come on, you.
Yeah.
But that's why we have elected officials like the tax assessor, and yourselves, so your discretionary can say, let's adjust this tax value outside of the objection process versus a company like Stonehurst at Oxford, who's trying to pay as less taxes as they can. And usually those Section 42 housing are a very big burden on our tax base, and they don't want to pay their right tax amount. And they have a special statute, lobbyists, that gave them this really nice code or whatever, and so that's grounds for us to reject it.
Well, I can see
Their
corporation should have sent a
I like to
lawyer,
do, you know,
a lawyer or somebody down here, but in individuals, I can understand why we would want to disregard theirs just because they couldn't make it.
Before we move on, Madam President, Mr. Attorney, could you get with Ms. Kim and y'all need to discuss some things because when you wasn't in the room, it's a different opinion of what's going on. So I think y'all need to be on the same page. So after this meeting or whatever the case may be, you get with Ms. Kim where y'all can get on the same page.
Yeah, especially on Mr. Robinson.
Not only on him,
Some
on
others.
anybody else.
Yeah. Ms. Kim, you have anything?
I do
that you
have
want
to,
to add?
to add to this.
I cannot do anything with Mr. Robinson, unfortunately.
Okay.
So, but we'll have to address that differently. That's the reason I had to recuse myself. No offense, if JT knows, no offense to it. It's just I can't get, but we'll take care of that.
What I'm saying is, the comment that Ms. Kim said she saw at this meeting ain't got nothing to do with Mr. Robinson. You said one
I
thing.
got that, that's what,
Oh,
I understood that.
yeah.
And then she said especially Mr. Robinson, that's all I was like, I can't help him out, so.
You have some, hold on.
I do want to make it known that there is someone certified in the tax assessor's office, and that would be me.
Look it up.
I am the certified person that is in that tax assessor's office currently.
To do
So
the
there-
assessments?
I am certified. Do I go in the field and do them? Because as a female going in the field with some of these people, is it safe for me to go alone? Absolutely not. Because even our gentlemen who do these have run up on properties where property owners are threatening to pull guns and everything else. So is Mr. Hughes gonna let me put myself in danger to go out in the field to do this? Absolutely not. But to answer Mr. Robinson's questions, yes, I am absolutely certified to look at every single bit of this. And I have all 3 of those certificates on the wall in the tax assessor's office if anybody would like to come look at them.
Okay. So we need to, yeah, that's it. So we need to close this.
Yeah, just take
Yes,
it.
yes. Can I get a motion to close?
Ms. Hutchins, before we on this, can I make a statement that concerns these taxes and
Yeah.
what's going on here
Is it
versus
to the
other places in our
objection?
country?
Yes, sir. Yeah, go to the mic and give your name and address.
Jerry Ogden, 14 Heather Drive, Natchez, Mississippi. I know I've spoke up here before and I've talked about the problems in this county and this town. Education is a problem. Next is, we gotta get somebody involved with the town, the Board of Aldermen, and this Board of Supervisors that's competent with a plan, to come up with a plan and take it out, and with somebody competent that can go out and solicit businesses to come here. Natchez Inc., I don't ever see much there at all. I hope they do something, I hope they bring something, there's talks. But we gotta get somebody who's competent, who's business, who knows how to go talk to people and get industry in here. The next thing is, you're talking about all these taxes and these on your properties. I'm gonna give you a prime example. My daughter and my son-in-law left here a year ago. Their house on Creek Bend Road, taxed for $9,000. They're looking at building a house in Corbin, Kentucky, and it's a comparable cost-wise, house-wise. House on Creek Bend's about $600,000. You're looking at building a $650,000 house. $899,500 home in Corbin, Kentucky, in the city, just like theirs was. Taxes, 2025, $3,500. Whitley County, their population in Corbin, Kentucky is about 12,000 people. Our population in Natchez is 15,000 plus or minus. Adams County is about, what, 35,000 plus or minus?
20.
Something's gotta be done. And we can do better. We gotta change our goals. The school system here is the worst in the state, and you gotta change it. And people in this room, I don't care who you are, what race you are, you gotta talk to your kids, you gotta get the parents involved. All of this stuff about, over at the schools, all this. You just pulled up, Ricky.
We're in the public
We talk
hearing,
about
right?
discipline.
We ain't got, wait till we get out the public hearing.
If you'd like to have some public comments, we certainly can do
Yeah,
that.
we gotta get out the public hearing.
This is supposed to be addressing
We gotta have
tax
discipline.
objections, but you may
Doesn't matter who
stay.
the kids are, or the
Make public
background. The
comments.
parents have gotta get involved and get disciplined.
Okay. That was, discussion. I got a motion by Supervisor Middleton and a second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed, ayes have it, motion carries. That's it. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next thing. We got any special presentations? Any special presentations?
Ms. Hutchins,
Yes.
can I do a thank you right now?
Yes,
That's-
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't get many of those.
Okay, good morning, good morning. I am Rhonda Biggs Page, and I work with the board for the Boys and Girls Club of Central Mississippi. And I came today to thank Adams County Board of Supervisors for supporting us for our summer program. I think we had an excellent turnout. On most days, we had up to 85 kids. I'd like to honestly, there are people in the community trying to do things for the kids. The Boys and Girls Club, we are in support of the goals for the school, but most important, the safety and the enrichment of children. So the kids had a wonderful time. They were able to study robotics and drones and arts and crafts and all kinds of science experiments. They took several field trips to Jackson, as well as they went to the movies. But I think most of all, my enjoyment was watching children feel safe. They were fed, and they were kept. Most kids didn't want to go home at 5 o'clock. So we want to thank you for your support. We look forward to working with you coming through the fall. Our goal is to start our after-school program on August 12th. Most of the staff is in Jackson this week, working to come up with the next program. We will submit flyers not only to the school board, but also to the city of Natchez and to the county supervisors to let them know what different programs are going to be available for after school. The program is located at the back sort of gym extension of Morgantown Elementary School. And Mr. Gray came, was able to be there, as well as many of the city officials, but also we have partnered with many other community organizations around Natchez that are working with kids, including the education committee for the NAACP for their youth and crime grant. So I'm looking forward to finding out from the sheriff's department some of the statistics over the summer, because I think a lot of kids through the Century 21 program and through the Boys and Girls Club were occupied, so they weren't out committing any misdemeanors or any killings and things like that. So I just want to say thank you for supporting us, and I look forward to working with you guys in the future.
Thank you so much. We appreciate everything. Okay? And anything we can do to help, we'll continue to help. Just, you got a presentation?
Yes.
Presentation?
Yes. Good morning, Board. This is Sherry Brown at 22 Nottaway Trail in Natchez, Mississippi. I have established a foundation in remembrance of my late husband, Lloyd Brown Jr., and I just wanted to give you all some of the brochures that were printed for me so that you can take a look and maybe make a personal donation to the foundation. I have installed a beautiful monument at the Natchez City Cemetery. So if you're ever out in that area, please, maybe when you're driving by, you can take a look at it. So can I give these to you all?
Yes.
Can I just hand them to you so you can take a look at them? Okay. Thank you.
Madam President.
Yes, go ahead.
Ms. Brown was giving it out. I do remember, no disrespect, but we called him Big Boy Brown. He was a big guy, real big guy. I used to get to Houston playing basketball against a football player. I remember him from Alcorn when he was up there. He was a great athlete. And then, when that's the Denver Broncos he played with?
And the New York Giants.
Well, I know he played with the Denver Broncos. And whatever we can do to assist.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Something?
Good morning. I am Dr. LaShawn Brooks from Alcorn State University. I am the Director of Economic Development, Community Engagement and Special Projects. And the reason for my coming today, I apologize for my tardiness, is that Alcorn State is preparing an application for a Delta Regional Authority to host an innovative readiness training mission for the summer of 2028. And what that entails is the military coming to provide free physical, medical, dental, vision with glasses, and veterinary services at no cost to participants. And so we are planning to partner with Comply Lincoln and have our 2 campuses provide these services to our communities. And I would like to ask for a letter of support to go with our application package from you, the Board of Supervisors from Adams County.
Okay. That shouldn't be no problem. We will let us support.
What you say your name was, Dr.?
Brooks. Okay. You got that? Okay. So we'll get a letter of support for you.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other special presentation?
Yes, ma'am, special presentation. Coach Jim Bob, James Ken Allgood Jr., been a volunteer coach here since 1986. I would like the board to know, as well as everybody out there, that this will be the 18th year that so many of our schools around the Miss Loop, through a nonprofit called Team Up for All, Together Each Achieves More. These are 3rd graders through college students, volunteers, TV engineers, radio engineers, that in a couple of weeks when our high school kids take to the gridiron, these kids will be showcased by other kids from our communities. You've got accslive.org that will take place in its 18th year. Home select games of Natchez High, our Bulldogs, and many of the other schools. There's approximately 54 schools that are part of this. One of the few nationally accredited film, TV, radio, and social media is housed right here in Natchez, Mississippi. It's at the Allgood Media Complex, what used to be the same company that put in all of our computers and everything for our city and county. Any way that the board can help or wants to be a part of any of these things that we're doing for the future of our students, in the last 15 years, there's been millions, and I'm going to repeat it, millions of dollars in scholarships. Kids leaving here knowing, just like when I left here to go off to get a computer science, marketing, and IBM engineering degrees, this is all free for our students of our Miss Loop. They're invited to be a part of it, and many of them have been a part of it. When you tune in on Friday nights to all these area schools and parents and grandparents and other people, they can watch in about 110 million homes on Roku and Amazon Fire, 130 million homes around the globe. So our students, our kids, those that many of us have volunteer coached and we educate. There's some things going on in the Miss Loop and the Natchez that I want and make sure that all of our board and everybody knows that Friday Night Lights is just around the corner. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yeah, thank you for making that website available, because when I'm in one game, I get the opportunity to peek at another game.
Okay. Next we have is county business. Mr. Charles Barkley. I didn't see him here. We'll move forward. Okay. Any city government business? Do we have any city government business? Do you have any updates on Morgantown or anything?
Well, I've been through that, they're moving forward, whether they're getting the drainage in, so they're moving forward. I'll get with the engineer to see if they're on schedule and the upgrades to the district that they are working, and all drainage pipes should be in close in the next couple of weeks and they can move forward.
Okay, great. Thank you. And we'll move down to the departmental reports.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have 2 board orders for you this morning. The first one is for 252 Hutchins Landing Road for the Addie Lee Rams estate. There was a trailer on that property that has been removed, and it was $77.78, and this is for the 2025 tax bill that has yet to be paid.
You heard the request? Got a motion by Supervisor Middleton. Second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried.
And the last one is for Ms. Donna and Terry Laurent at 808 North Rankin Street. This is also for the 2025 tax bill that is yet to be paid. There is a house there that is no longer livable. and we've had to downgrade that due to the fact that it is in the condition it is. And it's going to be a $1,194.35 tax decrease.
You heard the request?
Move.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gaines, can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Supervisor Wilson, any discussion? Go ahead.
If y'all gone out and looked at the property?
Yes, Wayne did go out and take a look at it when he was here, and he found that this is one of those that we've been trying to get work on since the computer systems were down.
Okay.
And we finally got it taken care of.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried. That's all you have?
That's all I have.
Okay. Vice Speaker, do you have anything?
I'm good.
Okay, good. Now the departmental reports.
Good morning, Board.
Good morning.
We had 408 requests through 911, 272 of those transported. Average city response time of 7 minutes and 48 seconds at 93% reliability. In the county, 1336 at 95% reliability. Had 89 refusals on scene, 12 no patient found, and 19 canceled. 44 psych calls, 168 multiple calls, that's multiple calls, same time, multiple ambulances. Medical flights from the field directly, 8. All said and done, we had 907 total EMS requests, and I noted that the site calls have doubled. When we look at June versus July, temperatures went up, those calls went up. So they doubled in just that single month. Patient refusals increased drastically. Usually we see a handful, and with us going and having 89, that's a lot of responses where people didn't want to go and they called us anyway. Then we had 2 calls with 3-hour scene times involving the Arleo components, of law enforcement, where we were on scene and remained on scene, not only for the situation that was occurred, but for the benefit of those law enforcement officers that were having to mitigate it. As always, I want to commend both Adams County SO and the police department for doing a really good job of making sure all those things are safe for us. They do an excellent job of that, and it's proofs in the pudding. We've not had a single crew get assaulted this year to date, and that's the best statement I can make on their behalf. It's all their work. So, y'all have any questions for me?
You don't have any questions?
I don't have a question, but I do want you to say a little bit about Officer Minor and what he did. Did you do that?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So we did a presentation recently with the city. Officer Minor responded to a call, made it to the scene initially prior to EMS, was just minutes ahead of us. The efforts that he took and that he completed prior to our arrival absolutely set up that situation for that young individual to make it. Everybody knows the first one there is the first one to care, and you've got a better survival outcome if you do. He didn't just show up as law enforcement and sit in his car and wait. He got out, he got engaged, and he began CPR. And that absolutely set the platform for those medics to roll in there with a viable patient with a very high outcome potential, which we all know now did result in a good outcome. Had he not taken that effort, it's hard to say if the man would have made it or not. But what I can tell you is when somebody takes the extra effort to go beyond just what their simple assignment was law enforcement, and they take the time to be a public servant to the community, that is always something that's going to come out with a good outcome for the public, and that's what happened in this case. And I made a joke with him when we did the presentation. His first name, I was scared I was going to pronounce it wrong, but the first section of his first name was Lion. So I looked at him and I said, that makes sense to me now, because people's personalities tend to match their names. And it takes somebody that's willing to take charge, that's willing to step in when others step out and move forward. And if you look at a line of behavior, they fear nothing, they step into everything. And that's what he did. So I commended that officer. We were able to give him a certificate. We gave him a lifesaver pin, and I gave him one of our challenge points for the year because, obviously that was something that he should have been acknowledged for. And I was proud to participate with that, and I felt very good that the chief brought that forward. We're also working with the sheriff's office This has brought forward some opportunities that we're gonna probably be bringing some deputies in with as well, because it's not just happening with this one. I will tell you, every month it happens with several of them. So there should be, right now, there's a lot of outcry about what people aren't doing, but I will tell you, both your law enforcement officers, your fire departments, and EMS groups, we're out there and we're running hard, and we're working as a team. And it's a team that I haven't seen this smooth and efficient a team effort being in place in my 29.5 years doing it right here in Natchez and Adams County. So I would say, I'm gonna toot all their horns and say, you know, it's a team effort, and the public should feel that. The public should be very appreciative of that, because they're doing a really good job. Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Tim, will we be seeing you at a football game soon? The ambulance?
Yeah.
You'll be stationed?
We'll still be doing the staging and the stationing. We just have to get the schools to send us the schedules on those, and we still do staging and station for those. And that's it across. We do that as a concentration of citizens. It makes sense that we're there.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Another departmental reports?
Good morning, board. Samuel Minor, Veteran Service Office, County. I just want to make the board and the citizens aware of what's going on with the VA and veterans. There has been an uptick of individuals trying to obtain veterans' personal material and steal their identity. So please be ensured that who you talk to on the phone, you do not give out your personal information until you verify who you're talking to. Because also through the email, there's one email going around that has the VA header on it, but the link is going somewhere else. So just want to make you guys aware of that, and also some changes with the VA. They are trying to reduce some of the veterans' total compensation, but it's a fix that we're working on. All they have to do is contact the office, and we can write a rebuttal to it and ensure that their rates don't change. That's all I have. Pending any questions from the board?
You don't have any questions?
I do, but could you get a copy of that? Do you have a copy of that email that's going around?
Yes.
Could you get it to the news outlet so that they can put something out about it?
Sure. Yeah. That's it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Departmental reports?
Good morning. Janine Price, purchase clerk for Adams County. I would like to ask for permission to travel to our annual MAG PBA conference, October 24th through October 28th, 2026. Paperwork.
Okay, so then this is for the purchasing?
Yes.
Conference? What about Ms. Latoya Washington for inventory? This part, she'll order that too.
Yes, she should.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna, she's gonna need to get her paperwork on. I need a motion pending Ms. Latoya Washington also get her paperwork in to attend this conference too.
You can definitely prove that the paperwork is internal, not legal.
Okay.
So moved.
Got a motion by Supervisor Wilson.
Second.
Second by Supervisor Middleton. Any discussion?
Where are they going?
Two departments.
Okay. Thank you.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried.
That's all I have. Any questions?
You won't have any?
We have advertising on for the floor in the.
September 1st,
Okay.
10 a.m.
Did we not talk about opening those at a board meeting?
Yeah, we did.
September 1st is not a board meeting then.
That's the chief.
Yeah, so the first meeting will be September 2nd.
So we'll open then.
got it for September 1st now. Opening.
Well, if you do the September the 1st, you can open them September the 7th.
Let's wait and open those at the board meeting, please, to
Because we did.
take care of all the issues we've had in the past.
Okay, so,
September 7th.
Just receive them, note that you received them, and then if you receive them late and after that, note that you received them late and after that, we'll open them on meeting.
Once you receive them, we'll just open them at next
Open them
meeting,
till
the 7th of September.
okay, I was just figuring out how we're gonna take care of that, when we put notices for everybody to be here September 2nd for the meeting. It's already on the website, I just didn't know, because they're gonna, I'm gonna have to come back over here anyway, and I guess let them know to come on September 2nd.
How many people do you know have been? It was 3 last time.
We have to come in. Sometimes they go to the last minute.
Well, their request was to open at the board meeting, so they should understand that. Thank you.
You just don't open them, but you mark them when you receive them. If you receive any late, you still receive them, you mark them late. Any irregularities, they matter if they create a competitive advantage or disadvantage. If they create a competitive advantage, then it's disqualified. If it's not, then it's discretionary for the board. But we can receive them on the 1st and open them on the 2nd. That's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, Mary Kay Doherty, Adams County Youth Court. Today I am here again representing the FAST team, the Public Health and Safety team. Still trying to get this naloxone vending machine. I've been in touch with Scott, going back and forth on some of it. I brought Mike with me again today. I passed out a little packet of some information about the naloxone vending machines and how they are being used around the states. Adams County, according to the OD map, experienced 90 suspected overdoses incidences over the past 2 years. So just want you to keep that in mind off the beginning of this as to why we're trying to put this in.
Yeah, the board wants to do this project. We just want to make sure we don't do it illegally. So we requested, you said there was places that had done it.
Yes.
So we requested what statute they fell under to do it. This board, I think, is all for it. I think that's a great program, and I understand overdosing and drugs and that kind of thing too. So it's one of those things, we're just looking for authority to do it. If you would like, we can request from the AG's office an opinion as to can we legally buy this vending machine so it can be stopped.
Yes.
That often takes a while, as the board knows. We certainly can ask for an AG's opinion if that's what you want to do.
Okay, yes, I would like to move forward with that. I know there's four in the state already, so they did it somehow.
And I don't know who did it or what the status, whether the counties did it or not. If the counties did it, tell me the counties, and I'll ask the board attorney what a statute that they fell
I
under.
can get you that information, I'll send it to you by email.
Well, that's what I need.
Perfect.
That's all I need. Because we're all good for the program, but I don't want to do something that would, end up letting them go to jail or whatever. Which, without specific statutory authority, this board cannot act. They have to have statutory authority to do anything. And that's all we're asking.
Okay.
And there's plenty of good programs we'd love to help, but we don't have statutory authority to do.
If I can get you that, that's what I'll do. I didn't know if Mike had any other questions.
Yeah,
Or answer any.
Sure, we'll get you in contact with the city attorney in Hattiesburg. The city owns that naloxone vending machine. The other vending machines are owned by healthcare providers, but the city owns that one. And I was just in conversation with the city last week about moving that one from a fire station over to the Forest General Hospital and then purchasing another one that would go out at the fire station. The statutory authority that they are using is the statutory authority that's given through the opioid settlement money, and it makes naloxone more available to the community, not less restrictive. So it gives from government organizations to nonprofits to Sunday school teachers broad authority to distribute this antidote drug for overdose to as many people as we possibly can get it to. It's not a prescription drug. It's can be purchased over the counter. However, through the Department of Health, we get it for free. You can go to odfree.org, which is the Department of Health website, put your address in, and they will mail you the kit to your house. The state will do that. So the authority wrongly comes from that opioid settlement statute. And in the settlement there is, and you may have it in your packet, if you don't, you can Google it, it's Exhibit E. That's the National Opioid Settlement rules that Mississippi had to agree to when they entered into this lawsuit. And the first, in Exhibit E, it basically outlines these are acceptable ways that communities can expend this money. And the first one is increased access to naloxone. And if you, and Mary Kay didn't include that, I can email it to her, she can email it to you, or really a Google search. Opioid Settlement Fund Exhibit E will give you that information where the government says this is what we want.
The board approved it pending legal approval, so if you'll send that to me, we can go ahead and authorize the purchase of it.
Sure. I appreciate
I just don't
that.
have that in front of me, and I've asked for it, and, that would be helpful. So if you can send it to me, we'll take a look. If we can approve it, the board has already voted unanimously to do it.
Great.
Certainly.
Pending legal approval, because they don't want to do anything that they're not authorized to do. And just because the city's authorized doesn't necessarily mean a county is, or the state. But if it's all this encompassing statute, like you said, that should be exactly what we need. And that we can then get it kicked off and going.
All right, we'll get that to you today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I got a question. Vice President, Ms. Mary Kay, have y'all heard any updates on Senate Bill 2001 dealing with the Youth Bill Reform Act? Because that's the talk of everywhere right now. And we gonna have to find out some information where that bill stands before we do our budget. Because I don't know if we're gonna have to do whatever.
Judge Wright has more understanding of that bill. He's read the whole thing, the 200+ pages of it. We've had some meetings over it, several of them for staffing. It has changed a lot of stuff, but a lot of it won't be effective to us until like 4 years from now.
Yeah, preliminarily.
So we good?
We're good.
Again,
We got
she said it's a
some funding.
200-page bill, and it's something we've got to verify before we get our budget out. But it appears preliminarily that things that'll affect us won't be until the next, July 1st, we'll make some sort of decisions, or some things will take effect, and then ultimately a lot of it will take effect some 4 years down the road. So, but it's a big change, and there will be a lot of talk about it with counties, and we'll have to make some decisions right then soon. But on the outset, it's looking like we don't have to make any things within this next fiscal year's budget. So
We did lose a $68,000 grant or appropriated funds from AOC, support youth court support funds. We did lose that. And that's the most immediate thing that I can tell you that we did lose.
Well, the only reason I brought it up is because when we went to our conference on the coast, that was a big topic. When we went to the conference in New Orleans, that was a big topic on the national level. So what's happening with the youth is a big topic in this country. And I just don't want us to set a budget and then have to come back and do something totally different because we didn't understand what Senate Bill 2001 said. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Board member reports.
Good morning, board. Good morning. Michelle Ryan, Adams County Sanitation Department. I just want to report that we billed out 5,864 bills this month. We also, last meeting, Kevin Wilson spoke with me about the cars being returned. So we've been looking into them, and some of them are returning saying vacant, that the residents are not there, and residents are actually still living there. So we're not sure why the post office is putting vacant on them, and they're holding them for a couple of months and then sending them back in stacks. So we actually called and talked to a few residents, about 3 or 4 of them, and they actually still live there. So I'm not sure what's going on between the cards coming in and the postman actually delivering them in the mailboxes. but I am still researching more of them to see what's the discrepancy with that. Routes were off, they've been off for the last 2 weeks. Some of them that's supposed to be picked up on Mondays have been picked up on Tuesdays, and the Tuesday pickups have been picked up on Wednesdays. And so I inquired this past week when I came back from vacation what was going on, and they said that the truck was stuck trying to unload at the landfill. But I had a few residents to call in and say that it was on the side of the road. So I'm not quite sure why they won't tell me the truth of what's going on, but I was told that they were trying to unload it at the landfill, and so it was stuck in line trying to be unloaded. But again, like I said, residents said it was not working. So they're playing catch up right now, trying to get everybody caught up. But I've been requesting every day that they're not finished with the routes to send me an email to let me know what roads and what streets are not being picked up so I can keep account of it. And that way when the calls come in, I can let them know if they are still picking up in that particular area or not. But I've been, like, they're telling me we're gonna finish the route today. And then when I get in the next morning and the calls start flowing in, and I realize they didn't finish the routes. So a lot of our residents have been calling in to see if the actual pickup days have changed. And I'm letting them know they haven't changed, but I can only tell them what they're telling me. I call and I inquire. So I've been talking to dispatch, but I think I'm gonna go straight to Paul from now on and talk directly with him to see what he can give me as far as what's really going on with why the trucks are not picking up. I know they were minus a driver like last month. And they were looking to inquire about a new driver, but they told me they found somebody to fill in, for that driver until they hired somebody on full time. Again, during that time, they were behind as well, so I've just been notating and keeping up with, the days and the areas that have not been being picked up, just to kind of give y'all a heads up on what's going on with it, because I can only inquire, and take the feedback from what they need.
I also called, because I got a couple calls about that same thing, that they were missing the days, but they would come back later and pick it up, maybe like the next day or the day after. And I called and inquired about it also. They told me that some of it, the weather was too hot. They had, some of them workers had gotten hot and gotten sick from it, and they was out, so they would go back once they, come back the next day and pick it up or something like that. But they was telling me it was because of the heat, that some of their workers was getting sick from the heat. What do you have?
I do, is the online complaints working yet?
Online complaints are they're working, but what I did, I inquired Devontae this last week and asked him to give us a special box at the bottom for any detailed information that they need to place on there. Because I received a call about a lady that wanted to tell me something about their accreditation, as well as she wanted to recommend that we do one a day pickups or something like that because of the index outside right now. So I just asked him if he would update the website and give us an extra special box for any information they want detailed, if it's not a missed pickup, but just to let us know what they're, inquiring. And I'm looking into trying to get it posted somewhere else where we can actually show that the website is up and running so that they can put the complaints in there. When I submitted the bills this morning, there's a special box in my screen that says any messages that need to be placed on there. So I put in there that, for missed pickups, go to the website. So when the bills come out, I have to verify them when I go back to the office and see if they put the message on there. And if they haven't, I'm gonna call personally and ask that they place that message on all our bills moving forward, so that they are aware that if any pickups are missed, that they can go to the website and log in.
So I have received a couple phone calls, and I've requested everyone to go online and fill out that complaint. It does no good for me to complain up here, okay? So I know a couple weeks ago we dealt with the sick driver, okay? These residents are getting charged $37 a month for garbage pickup. Shame on them for not having a spare CDL driver on staff. I mean, that's no excuse. Second of all, That truck was broken down, I believe, on 61 South, because I received some calls about that for 2 or 3 days. Shame on them. We're supposed to have a grade A fleet. Ride around town, we got radiator hoses hanging, grills are missing off the radiators, trucks are spray painted. The excuses are not up. The truck's stuck at the landfill, it hadn't rained in 2 months. And I'm not, this isn't a cheat, okay? We continue to have missed pickups, delayed pickups, and we talk about trash on our roads and trash on our highways. Well, when somebody puts their trash out on Tuesday, because it's supposed to be picked up on Tuesday, and it doesn't get picked up till Wednesday, dogs get in it, buzzards get in it, drag it up down the road, and it creates all these problems. So they have a scheduled route, they need to stick to their scheduled route, that's what the citizens are paying for, and that's what the county's paying for. So, not at you, my 2 cents.
Yes, okay.
I've got a bunch of complaints the last 2 weeks. I mean, like every day, 2 or 3 people, different people, not all the same people. Same thing with the truck broke down. They told you it was stuck out at the landfill, and he's right. It hadn't rained in 2 or 3 weeks. There's no way that truck got stuck. Number one. Number two, why did it stay there 3 days on the side of the road? Part of the contract reads they're gonna have a A-line fleet of trucks with spares, reliable spares, as I believe is how it's written in the contract, and also extra drivers. And so while those excuses are coming to you and you gotta filter them down to us, they don't work for me. These citizens have been mad from the start about this. This has been the worst garbage contract probably in the history of the state. And hopefully something's gonna be done about it real soon. Because the excuses they keep piling up, they don't do me a bit of good. Because a person will get fired up here for this job more for trash than anything in the world. Because when you put your garbage out there and you expect it to be picked up, and the dogs tear it up, the coyotes tear it up, whatever, because they didn't come for 3 days, and they say they come the next day or whatever, most of my messages, it is not the next day. They're 3 days late. Most of them are getting once a week. So if we're going to once a week already, we shouldn't be paying for twice a week. And this is not directed at you, but their excuses got to stop. There's no excuse for it. And also, if you look them up right now, they do not have interstate licenses to run those trucks. They don't have DOT numbers, and I'm quite sure they also do not have insurance. Again, like they ever had it. Thank you.
Again, not shooting the messenger.
Yes. But the messenger needs to shoot back.
So can they not
Not
do
at
the
us.
contract if they don't have the insurance and they're not doing what they're
Ma'am,
supposed to do?
I'm sorry,
Yeah, have to be recognized.
that's not,
Then
this
it's
is
not
a
part of
public
it.
forum like mine.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Is that what you had?
Recommendation for the county?
No, this, you're not recognized by the chair. This is a public meeting. We gotta handle our business. There is a position for public comments, but it's not right now.
When we come to public comments, you have to. Okay, yeah.
Hey, Ms. Yolanda. Ms. Yolanda.
Stop her.
Ms. Shay. Lord, I'm not- I had a couple complaints myself, and I also had complaints in the city too. Let me tell you something. That's a tough job. Especially when it's 100 and whatever degrees on the back of one of them trucks. That's a tough job. So I got some of my citizens inside the city limits that offer water to those individuals that's on the back of their truck. And I would ask some of the county residents to offer, while it's this hot outside, to, if they can, and if they can't, I understand it, to maybe offer them a little water or whatever the case may be. It is real hot out there, and people are falling out. That's all I had to tell you. Thank you.
Good morning, board. Just one update, a couple updates, and then some requests. Morgantown Road, they're proceeding with grading the ditches and replacing the culverts at the driveway We did establish some quantities. We're going to line the ditches with some 100-pound riprap, and also the slopes near Dixie. We're going to line those slopes with some riprap, and we're also going to install guardrails in the same area. So we did submit those items to the contractor to request a proposal. Once we get that information back, we'll generate supplemental agreement and get the proper approvals to have them move forward with that work. All right? As it relates to
Excuse me, Madam President, so when that section is finished, how's it gonna look?
which section that
The one we're
is.
doing now.
So it's gonna be paved and striped, and we're gonna have new concrete culverts in each driveway. The new driveway is gonna be either paved or concrete. The ditch is gonna be lined with just the bottom of the ditch and just.
So it is gonna be a ditch?
Yes, sir, it's gonna be a ditch with some riprap around it. All the new flared-in sections installed should have riprap around it as well, all try to prevent erosion.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. As it relates to EWP project, the contractor is moving forward with EWP C021, the Kier Road site number 2, as well as the Jerusalem Church. They're currently placing borrowed material and riprap along the slopes on the Kier Road site number 2 site. They did submit a pay request for that project. So like I said previously, they near completion with the Jerusalem Church, and their request is in the amount of $282,468.25. The engineering fees associated with that is $33,896.19. So we request payment in those amounts for both the contractor as well as the engineering fees.
You heard the request.
So moved.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gaines,
Second.
second by Supervisor Middleton. Any discussion?
Have you examined those sites, or has Robbie been out there?
Yeah, I don't.
We met, me and him both met at Jerusalem Church and looked over it. They did have to go back on the, small things there. And then we went to, I've been out to Cary Road a couple of times.
Okay, thanks.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried.
All right. Associated with that, I would like to also request permission to submit the reimbursement for that project in the amount of $275,406.54.
So moved.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gaines. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried.
All right. 13 Johnson Circle, that's a EWP that they've already completed. We did the final inspection and found everything to be satisfactory. And so we're requesting final payment to the contractor, which includes their retaining in the amount of $49,415.94. That combines their last pay application and the release of their retainage.
You heard the request.
So moved.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gaines,
Second.
second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried.
The engineering fees associated with that is $5,929.91. We request payment in that amount as well.
You heard the request. Got a motion by Supervisor Gaines,
Second.
second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried.
All right. We request permission to submit a reimbursement for that project in the amount of $40,768.15.
You heard the request. Got a motion by Supervisor Gaines,
Second.
second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried.
Old Kingston Road, they completed that site. We did do a final inspection. We did find some punch list items that need to be addressed. However, I would like to request payment to the contractor, and I will hold their pay application to the satisfactorily address those items. I want to go ahead and get the approval from the board. So once we get done, we can just submit the pay application for payment. And that is an amount of $10,227.52, and engineering fees in the amount of $1,227.30.
You heard the request.
So moved.
Got a motion by Supervisor Wilson and a second by Supervisor Gaines. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried.
And once we get done, we would like to permission to submit a reimbursement request in the amount of $8,437.70.
So
Got a motion by Supervisor Gaines, second by Supervisor Middleton. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried.
Here, road site number 1 is currently advertising. We have a meeting with one of the utility providers on Thursday to allow them to go through the process of relocating what they have to do. We're gonna have a bid opening on September the 8th. That should be a Tuesday after the Labor Day. So just letting you all know that. Yeah.
We
So
won't
we
meet
won't
until
meet
the
till
8th
the
then.
8th. That's when we'll open those
The
other
8th.
bids.
Then September 8th will be our meeting. September 8th,
Okay.
7th, because of Labor Day,
Okay.
or whatever day it is.
So we're gonna have a bid opening on the 8th. As it relates to Burger Road, state aid requested fund from MDOT to advertise the project. On Thursday, we received an email from MDOT stating there were some additional documents that need to be completed in order to have that. So we worked over the weekend to get those documents prepared and ready. And so we're requesting the board authorization of our board president to approve a letter of transmittal that would identify Ms. Brandon Lewis as the project director, Mr. Robert Dolly as the project manager, and myself as the consultant for the project.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gaines and a second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion?
I'm not shaking my head at you, I'm just shaking my head at the process.
7 years. Yeah.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried.
And with Ms. Lewis being made the director, will we please give her authorization to sign all any documents the LPA require in the future if they need anything else? So
Got a motion by Supervisor Middleton and a second by Supervisor Gaines. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried.
And we completed the survey for the box on South Palestine, so we're going to compile all the data we have for that box and provide a recommendation, at least what we observed from for that site as requested by the board.
You heard that, Mr. Arthur?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions from you all?
Yes, sir, I have one. Kingston Road.
I mean,
Any,
no, so I mean, no one has the document, no one used the document, so.
what are we gonna do?
You can pick another road or, because right now I don't want to do that transfer process and there's no paperwork to say that it's even counted.
So got any solution to that? I mean, do what?
So just have to find a solution then today, you know.
How far out does Mississippi, the state of Mississippi own Kingston Road currently?
Come on, the right way, I'll have to find out, and it's not far.
If it's not very far, I wanna start where it ends.
Well, I know it goes all the way, the limit is always to Ogden Road, so that's the part that's considered state highway.
Well, I wish they'd come fix it. I mean, that road hasn't been touched in 50 years, maybe 60. So I need to pick another road. All right, me and Robbie will talk about it. Man, there's a lot of residents live out that way. And it's just a shame they have to drive through what they have to drive through. So we can't overlay it, we can't do anything.
Right, I mean, right now it's the state's property.
I guess it's the only state aid money.
You can't use state aid money. One of you can't use state aid funds.
We still have some low bond. Yeah, we was thinking about using over
Okay, we'll have to talk some more about that, but, it seems like somebody could make a decision on it. It's just like, drives me crazy. It's like being in the military. I think it's gonna be 1.5 million or so to go 3 miles, is that right?
But that was not just overlaying, that was wide.
There's some widening there.
You're gonna have to drink, because it's not, it doesn't meet state standard, you don't meet state standards right now. So you're gonna have to do at least a couple widening on both sides.
Do we need to sue the state to get that done? I mean, it's just like, that's usually the only way you can get anything done, is get a judge to decide it.
Yeah, we have any dialogue with them, Don, about it. They said like they don't know when everyone was giving up or anything.
If they don't have documentation to prove it was given up, it wasn't given up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's real simple.
Just general conversation, I did get in a situation where they intended to, but they have not actually.
I'm sorry, say that again?
So just general conversation we've had, is just that it may have been an intention to get it over, but the process here never got completed. Yeah. But otherwise, it would be clear.
Well, at the end of the day, that's what we go by what our minutes say, so if we can't find it in the minutes, then we gotta do something different.
I mean, it needs to be a state aid road because that's exactly what the type of state aid roads are supposed to be. Supposed to be, you know, non-NDOT type roads that are major throughways. So
It would seem like that Delivery Road and Kingston Road would have been done at the same time. They were built about the same time. And it seems like they'd been turned over at the same time. It just,
How far that go back?
Liberty Road,
At the same time, what?
I'm talking about built at the same time. They're exactly the same type of road. So it was, they were built in the 60s probably, or maybe a little earlier.
Only thing I'm saying is, back then, they was in the beat system. So if one supervisor decided to do something for his area, the other one didn't have to do it. So that's the only thing I'm bringing to your attention. Now we're in the unit system. If we was in the beat system, if I wanted to do something for a road in my district, then I got my own budget to do it. So back then, we don't know what they did and how they handled it.
That's what it is.
One thing we do know, they ain't handling it right.
Obviously. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Where we at on the state aid project?
So we're currently finishing up the design, so hopefully we have the preliminary submitted to the state aid by the end of the month. And we'll go on. Once we submit the preliminary, the other steps you can move much faster.
So maybe bid and.
November or something.
So did we get any updates on, I couldn't really hear last meeting about the updates on the Springfield and.
Yeah, that's what we, yeah, so since most of all the roads were unimproved, we had to go through a new survey. And so we finished the survey, now we haven't developed a preliminary plan takes out there. So we're seeing the roads, it's gonna take a little longer than normal in one of the roads.
Okay. All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Morning, boy.
Good morning.
I have a couple things today. First thing is the airport precinct. Been working on it. I know the board give permission for us to go out and build a parking lot, road, going in and out. Got that done. We'll get with the county administrator on what money was spent for gravel and 610 for that, and get it where she can get that back reimbursed. We'll pay for the materials that we've got for that project. Second thing, Mr. Wilson, for his speed humps, he's gonna mark those this week.
Okay.
Get those marked this week. And I have a request for payment on the waste tire grant for $886.
I have it.
Before you.
Got it, yes. You heard the request?
So,
Got a motion by Supervisor Gaines. Can I get a second? Second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carried.
I have a wheel loader that's coming off buyback at the end of the month. Got with the county administrator on it, about to get it paid off, get it gone. We're gonna go back with Puckett on their buyback for $103,500. I did get a price from J M Woods, by the time we take out 7% and get it to the location of the auction that the county's managed to go with Puckett. So we'll have to back.
you need a motion?
Yeah, I would think so, huh?
Yeah.
Second.
Got a motion by Supervisor Wilson and a second by Supervisor Middleton. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carried.
Then I have a budget amendment, to move $4,000 from line item 160, 300, 666 666 is weed control. 2, 160, 300, 634 culverts.
You got the request?
So moved.
Got that to one? Okay. You did?
I second.
Yeah.
Okay, got a motion by Supervisor Gaines and a second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion?
Madam President, you moving it from where?
I'm moving it from 160, 300, 666, which is weed control, to 160, 300, 634 culverts.
Thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried.
Put it off all year, wasn't gonna do it. Thought the 2 trucks I got from Brad, which is okay. I've lost 3 trucks out of the fleet. We have it in my budget for 2 trucks. Got with the county administrator. The money's there. Got with Denise. I'm on state contract, but we did get 2 quotes for 1 truck. I'm not gonna get 2, just 1. We just looked there for 2. Thought I could get away this year, not buy 1. Denise got 2 quotes. If the board approves it, then it is in my budget.
Okay. You say the one you got from Brad, what happened with it?
Both of those are good, but I've lost 2 to get those 2, and I've lost another one since then.
You got 2 trucks, Brad?
2, well, I got, yeah,
2 real used trucks.
yeah, real used trucks that we use. We get by with it, put it that way.
You heard
For a
the,
little while. How long they last, one of them got 300,000 miles on it, another one's got 160, I think.
are you gonna put them in auction?
Denise got prices, if
Are you gonna put them in auction? What you gonna do with those?
the ones I'm pulling off, yes ma'am, I'm gonna pull them there, put them on gov deal, that's about one place you go. And I'll get with the board, once I get them to the maintenance shop, to put them on gov deal. But, Denise has the price of the pickup, you know, the 2 quotes.
Okay, the first quote is from Stan King General Motors Superstore, for $52,233. And the second quote is from, Larry Clark Chevrolet for $52,750.
What's the state contract price?
It wasn't on there.
And not,
Not
they
these.
never have it on state
Not
contract,
these.
I mean, we looked, but
Is one truck more loaded out than the other, or are they exactly the
they're both
same?
the same, these are the same.
Stan King's lower, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Make a motion, to go Stan King.
Got a motion by Supervisor Middleton and a second by Supervisor Gaines. Any discussion?
Yeah, Madam President. Robert, I don't do this, but, you know, I don't usually, especially at the end of a budget.
And that's the reason I put it off, trying to get trucks and trying to do is get them fixed, and we're down to, and like I said, I had 2 in my budget, I had 2 last year, I didn't get 2 last year, I didn't get 2 this year, I've been trying to save, and it's done hit me.
Say you need it, so at the end of the day, that don't mean everybody else come in at the end of the budget and start trying to act or something. I said, have we decided, how we gonna pay for this?
It's in the budget. It was in the budget.
So you gonna pay cash for it?
Huh?
You gonna pay cash or you gonna note it out?
Cash?
It's in this budget.
It's in his budget. He gonna pay
You
those.
gonna pay cash?
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter whether it was in his budget or not if he was gonna finance it.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
Alright, now I have something to turn it.
Okay, hold on. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried. Now, what you got?
I think we talked about one time before some speed limit signs at time. We talked about that, I remember a while ago, what was the requirements of it? I know we can't do the children at
No,
play.
you can't do
But the
all that.
speed, I know that's a speed limit sign.
And I am going to have to go in and do a study and tell us what.
Speed.
So like speed limits or speed humps?
Speed limits,
limit.
not humps, limit.
Your biggest problem is enforcing your sheriff's, you
I
can't
know.
carry radar detector.
Wait,
on.
real quick, not to interrupt you, because that was the next thing on my list. Robbie and I have talked about this children at play, and then I talked to Scott about it. You said we can do it.
Children at play?
Well, ever since I've been here, they say, no, you cannot.
Well, I know,
allow
you told me
kids-
that, but I asked him,
We allow kids to play in that road. I mean, you know what I'm saying, the county's giving them that permission to do it. I've asked at meetings, people don't put them up. Go to that.
Is it in the neighborhood or
Yes.
is it on the road where
Mine
trucks
is.
flying?
Mine's a neighborhood.
It's a difference to me, if it's in a, where you got vehicles going a certain speed limit, but in a neighborhood, you shouldn't be able to go faster than 10 or 15 no way.
Oh, that was, that's why I had it
And
written
that's
down.
what I do, get with the engineers, get them to look at it, tell us what speed it needs to be in those, just like speed bumps, if they're able to.
But again, what's the sign gonna do?
That is not gonna do that. Just-
Now, when you go to the cell phone.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if we put one of those up, somebody get killed behind it, are we gonna be?
Well,
Would it be loud?
when we talked about it, I pulled the Tort Claims Act. Yeah, it's probably one of those exemptions from the Tort Claims Act where we're not liable, but Wes has a better memory than me if I told you that already. But you
Well,
said
we
you
just
talked
need to
about-
revisit it, because I'm not gonna sit here and say that you thought it was okay.
If the attorney thinks it's okay, we move forward.
Because I know your concern was, they see the sign, they say, oh, I can play in the street. Well,
Maybe we need to check.
here again, this goes back to the parents.
That's my problem with lawyers. Jeez.
But, you know, you got a speed limit sign's not gonna do anything. Not where mine is.
Not speeding, not speeding.
You know, put spikes or
Robin, why don't you just get with the engineer
I
and
get
find
with
out
you
what
on
we can and
the
cannot
signs,
do?
and then if Scott sees something different, please email me.
Yeah,
Scott,
if
I'll
he
back while
finds
putting them up, I just.
Robbie says children should play in the street.
Well, put, Robbie, add Sarah Dawson to that.
They can get them recognized.
There's two families that died on the street. I thought it was right.
Then I have items to be determined.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Bob. Your turn.
Good morning, board.
Good morning.
All I've got is trash. Y'all know that red is still out. One that picks up on the state highway. We've got some medical issues. We have got another employee. He's picked up 3 different times on the state highways, picked up 15 bags of trash. He's mainly our county pickup guy. So he's picked up a total of 366 bags in the county. District 1 has 385 bags picked up. District 2 has 65 bags picked up. District 3, 22, District 4, 33, and District 5, 86, for a total of 591 bags in the county. Like I say, the state is slack because the employee's out with medical issues. That's about all I got to present. He's still out, I don't know when he'll be back.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Any more? Departmental reports? Mark? Okay. I'm gonna go to public comments. Any public comments? Any public comments? Stop.
Other than the one we,
No, I was wondering if you gave me minutes for it, so you can.
we'll have one next meeting.
The first thing, I want to thank y'all for all that y'all do. Y'all may think I come up here just ranting and raving sometimes, but I see things that need to be done. The garbage issue in the county. I would make a recommendation, I don't know, cost-wise, I don't know what it would be, but Caddo Parish, Louisiana. They have places where everybody has to take their garbage. Nobody gets it picked up, but you're responsible to get it there. They have nice sites. All we have to do is hire garbage people to come in and transport it to wherever we need to support it. Now, we gotta build the sites, we gotta put them in, and we gotta have somebody to man them. We already have them sites manned as it is. I'm not gonna say they're very well kept or very clean, but you go to Caddo Parish, you can probably just about eat off the plate. But it's another way to look at doing it instead of hiring these garbage pickup companies that don't have the trucks, the equipment, they don't maintain it, everybody's calling, make everybody responsible, you know. Yeah, they're gonna get some charge for the garbage because it's gotta be hauled out. But what is it now, $35 a month or something like that? So that's gonna go way down, but everybody's gotta be responsible for their own garbage. And if they get caught dumping it, or their name's in a bag somewhere, they need a healthy fine of about $1,000 wherever it was found. That's just a recommendation, it's a thought, it could work out pretty good. Talking about Kingston Road, I believe State Park takes over or goes down to Ogden Road, is that what was said? When I was growing up, Boyd Sojourner, if there was a concrete portion that went bad or broke up, it was taken out and put back in with reinforcement to work. Now, talk about overlaying. You put asphalt, which is a soft surface, on top of concrete, which is a hard surface. That's backwards of what should be done because the asphalt won't float on top of the concrete. That's where you get it, that's the reason it breaks up where there's joints. That's the reason you see where the tires run, it holds water. So that's, overlaying concrete is not really the thing to do. I know it's been done, it's on Kingston Road, it's not the best way to do things. From an engineering side, that's a failure. That's just a thought to go do what we did years ago. Take the bad sections out and re-concrete and don't overlay. It'll last a lot longer. Robbie Dollar, we're talking about the culvert at South Palestine. The caution, the safety signs, the black and yellow signs. I don't know why they're in the ditch, but I noticed that when I was bush hogging this past Saturday. I bush hogged the county road right away also in front of my property on both sides of the road. Those signs are in the ditch on the north side of the road. Don't know why they're there or how they got taken down. You know, and I got up here earlier talking about taxes. I know we gotta have taxes to run the city and the county, but it's amazing the taxes in a community in Kentucky for $899,900 house that's on the books, and that's in city and county. It's $3,500 in 2025, and it's $9,000 in Adams County. Need to take a look at things. I don't see everything in the budget. I don't know that everything goes through. Yeah, we got to run everything. Corbin is probably not quite as big of a town laid out as Natchez, but the community is growing. I mean, talk about the school district, number 2 district in Kentucky. You don't have to have private schools to get an education. Public school system is wonderful. So that's kind of.
Thank you, Mr. Lawson. Appreciate that. Have any other public comments? Any other public comments?
Gregory Watkins again. I just want to remind the board, if I may, of what I've talked to you all about over a year ago regarding the property at the Church of Jesus Christ God's Son on Morgantown Road, 241 Morgantown Road. The problem still exists, and I'm still patiently waiting. As I see you all working, doing a great job over here on the southern end of Morgantown Road. But I'd like to see you doing another end, the same thing that's needed. It badly needed. The church's property has been badly eroded so much, and I pray that you all will consider us at one moment at a time and do something down that for us, please. I'm saying please. Thank you.
Any other public comments?
This is regarding the garbage contract. I don't understand why, if the company is not doing what the contract said they have to do, having insurance and certain trucks and all this, why we cannot void that contract.
Mr. Slover.
We're in the middle of a lawsuit with it right now.
What,
It does not behoove this county in our position to be discussing when you're in the middle of litigation, discussing the case. It just doesn't. I understand their frustration, and the board currently has a lawsuit going on with it, and that's.
That's all we need to know.
Any other public comments?
I have more of a question. Most of you know I work as a federal contractor. I've had several entities across the southeast region to ask me if the county would be interested in more mental health funds. I had someone to contact me about a grant that was like $750,000. And so I called everybody that I thought I could call. I called people in Natchez, people in Fayette, people in Vicksburg, and I could not find anyone to apply for this money. So I don't know if it's typical for the county as an entity to apply for mental health funds.
No, ma'am, so you're, number one, we have a community-based mental health treatment, and we're part of a region that handles that type of mental health and so forth, which we appropriate money annually to, and we're supposed to, but they're the primary public source that gives that kind of thing. And on top of that, the state, our local district court, which is a state organization, has a mental health court that also might be interested in those type of funds. The county itself appropriates money for mental health and has a pretty good interest in it because it greatly adversely affects the community. A lot of our time and effort with law enforcement and with AMR and so forth is spent on mental health issues. The Chancery Clerk's Office is a place that's where you file to have people committed and so forth, which also costs local funds, both with your jail and then with your having that proceedings prosecuted, so to speak. So it's certainly a big issue that we've had a lot in the past, but as a conduit to do that service, this particular entity, the county would not be the one that typically does it. Your regional facility or the mental health courts probably would be interested in that.
No, I talked to them. So, and I mean, I understand Mississippi is a centralized state. I work with the public health department in the state on several different things. However, I feel like mental health is at a crisis level in our region. And so I don't know if any of you have influence with any of the Southwest regional people, as well as I've tried to talk to some of the state people, but I mean, as a community person, particularly if there's a grant for youth, particularly navigation, just dealing with all the issues, I think it would help with some of the problems that we're having. So I have connection to federal funds, and I am more than happy to help seek those grants, but I, as a federal contractor, cannot apply for the grant.
Both our Chancery Clerk and our Sheriff are commissioners for that region.
Okay.
So maybe you could reach out to
Okay.
Brandy or
Okay.
Travis, who both always looking for money and
All right.
for the mental health.
Okay, because I'm saying there's dollars out there. I would love for us to get some.
And we
So I
have,
can.
we have a commission meeting coming up at the end of this month, so if you would just reach out to me at the Chancery Clerk's office, and I can pass it along to River Ridge, they're our regional community mental health center, or excuse me, our regional office there.
So are you guys already working like with the Rural Health Transformation Grant and the other Samson grant? Okay. I was sending them to Church Travis Patton. I was sending the grants to him.
Okay.
I'm glad to know who you are, because now I make sure I forward the grants to you as well. But there's dollars out there. I just hate to see our region lose those dollars.
Yes, ma'am, for sure. Thank you.
Especially when there's been a big cut in it.
Yes.
Well, most of your mental health is all fee-based off of Medicaid, Medicare, which typically only provides for certain services, not the others. Your grant will provide like 80% of something, but it's most of the people in acute mental health situations aren't
They don't have an insurance payer source. And so outside of that grant, you don't have any revenue to make up for the difference. So then the locals, grants often give you a burden as opposed to, helping out with the difference, because there's no pay source to make up for that.
No, these are not based on the CMS system. These are just grants for community. They're more prevention grants and intervention grants, so they're based on community. They're not like reimbursement for paper services.
If they're a match, then that's not as much.
Okay.
You still gotta find a way to pay for it.
First off, thank all of you for every job that you do. I know of being a volunteer in this area since I was a very young man. Many times it's a thankless job. You may know, you may not know, Fox 48 years ago was the TV station in our town. You may know, you may not know, that the TV station in our town is located at 317 Highland Park Boulevard. We have Natchez TV, we have Mid-South Broadcasting, and in that same place where all good business machines and all good computers, who was built in the early 80s, that building that houses many other tenants that I was talking about, that we're fixing to have to raise the rates on, that many of those are businesses that are trying to survive, that are paying those taxes, are the ones that I'm talking about that we're going to have to raise those rates on. When an air condition is 50 years old, and I understand the millage and everything that's going on, because again, back in those days, myself and others were the ones that wrote those programs that figure out the millage and the school tax and how it does this when you put it in the computer. All I'm going to also say is all of you, as well as your grants you're talking about, ma'am, I've got kids that would love to use that. We've done everything from Red-All tobacco to everything else in our radio and TV stations. Now, my doors are open. We're 107.1 The River, which is a 50-plus-year-old radio station. 104.7 The Gator. Those were Faraday-based radio stations. About 6 or 7 years ago when I acquired those radio stations, I got up every morning about 5:30 or 6 o'clock and I drove to a town called Faraday, where at the time the water was almost poisonous, the electricity was terrible, and there was almost no internet. It took me a couple of years with DC lawyers and others to bring that company and those companies here to reside in Natchez, Mississippi, and promote our beloved Natchez and Adams County. My doors are open for all of y'all every morning from 7 to 9. I do a morning Dumbo show. The last time I was here and went live, within 3 days we had over 40,000 people that watched that video. Probably are going to be the same in a couple of days that when I look at the numbers. So if there's anything any of the different supervisors or from Scott or from city or the 5 times that I've crossed and taken away from my morning job to go over there and see that man that's an elected official, and for 5 times I did not get to see him, along with my dad who went this past Friday. Again, thank y'all for the job you do. If any of you want to come in and visit, like I said, my radio and TV stations, your radio and TV stations, local, my doors are pretty much always open. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. You see, you have something else?
Got a tree at 52 Dunbar Road. A dead pine tree that the county can't take down. And I got 3 bids on them last week. One's from Brian Lawn Service for $800. The other one's for Arbor Boy for $1,250. The other one's from Thompson Tree Service for $2,500. My recommendations to Brian Lawn and Tree Service.
Second. Got a motion by Supervisor Middleton and a second by Supervisor Gaines. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried.
Thank you.
Robert, while you're there, the question, What about that 329 Southmore that I took the pictures and sent them? I think Scott said that we could go ahead and cut it after 7 days once they had the picture, because it had already been declared. And I was,
Oh, the adjudicating lot?
yeah. It needs to be, it's really, really.
When it's already been done, you post a sign, and 7 days later, you can do
And I think you supposed to sign. I think, cause I came by, got the
That
picture.
sign's posted, Scott. We'll put them up.
Good to go.
See if
Bring it back the next meeting.
there's the address.
You can assess. it.
329 Southmore Drive.
But you gotta bring it back the next meeting. That is cut.
That's done. Okay.
All right. So we have coming to the table, Supervisor Gray.
Yes, ma'am. Let me say this. I guess I was blessed this page to come through. South Natchez had a good school and North Natchez had a good school. I mean, we was on the top when we went to school. And we had a lot of industry in our community. I mean, we had them all over the place. That's the reason we had over 40-some thousand people here. And we also had good private schools back there. I'm not gonna ever get into telling nobody to do what's best for their child, because when it comes to me, I'm gonna do what's best for mine, so I expect everybody else to do what's best for their child. At our conference in New Orleans, the NACO conference, which was one of the most well-attended conference we have had, and we had close to 800 new individuals that came to New Orleans. And if I had to guess, the majority of them was from Louisiana and Mississippi. But we do have a new president, Mr. George Dunlap. And every president have something when he come in that his pet peeves. And Mr. Dunlap said that President George Dunlap launches Building Better Future, a year-long presidential spotlight calling on counties to examine how they support young people, invest upstream before challenges become critical, and take at least one concrete action to improve young people outcome. They always told me you judge your community by how you treat your kids and your senior citizens. And I always say the same thing, we got to do better. Mr. Ogden, I hear you. Me and you don't always agree on everything, but guess what? I hear everything you say. And at the end of the day, this is just my opinion, and it's been my opinion since I've been on this board. We need to do a comprehensive plan. And the plan is to let us know where we are right now, where we want to go, and how we gonna get there. And the plan don't consist of everybody on this board. It's a community plan. We hadn't did a comprehensive plan and I don't know when. I think that's what we need to do.
Start with this board, the board of aldermen, and the school board.
Ms. Jonathan, sorry.
Yeah,
I want to
all three got to get
Ms.
together.
Jonathan, I'm sorry.
I want to congratulate Mr. Ben Hewitt on his retirement from the Natchez City Police Department. I think he served about 30, I know it's over 30-something years. And again, I want to congratulate our sheriff. I see he's real busy now. He's been selected president of the Small and Rural Law Enforcement Executive Association. I know this is a hot subject because you know why it's hot? Because I couldn't go to Walmart, I couldn't go to Southside, I couldn't go to nowhere when I brought up having guns in the board meeting. So everybody want to know what's the status. Can we bring guns to the board meeting, or are we gonna allow guns in the board meeting, or how we gonna handle that? Because I've been stopped everywhere. People want to know that.
There's a statute that forbids counties from prohibiting guns except in certain locations. I don't believe that one of those exemptions from that law is a board office. In fact, it wasn't the courthouse, and you can bring a gun to the courthouse, you just can't bring it to a courtroom when it's in session, but you can forbid guns, and we, I think, did in our public parks, if I'm not
You
mistaken.
can't bring guns to the
But I don't believe you can prohibit it here. I would be remiss, I'd have to pull the statute to read it just to be doubly sure, but that doesn't sound familiar, but this would be a place that we can forbid it.
I think it's also prohibited in the courthouse, because I think we got.
It's not, and it was actually colossally, it was a big deal when they came out with that statute because of the prohibition in the courtrooms, and the judges actually were pretty upset about it, and what the court ultimately decided is that procedurally, the jurisdiction of the courts, they can control what's in their courtrooms. But that's not necessarily, and probably the hallway, so that's not necessarily the courthouse itself. So it's
So
an
don't we
issue.
have over there no weapons on the doors?
I don't believe we do. And it's not, and we don't forbid it, but we do.
Do we?
We do not.
What?
We do
We have
not.
no weapons on the
Oh,
doors?
and the only way you can have weapons in the courthouse is if you have a
That
permit
is,
when you come into the first floor. Second floor, no weapons are allowed unless you're law enforcement.
yeah, so your second floor would be your hallways to your
Right,
courtrooms.
there's nothing up there but corporate.
But we still check people, guns in case if someone shows up with guns, we want
We
to.
do, and if they have a permit to carry the gun, then that's a public area and they're allowed to carry a gun on the first floor. And once they go upstairs, it's regulated by the judges and that's where we are.
Open carry is allowed almost everywhere.
Right.
Carry is not.
It confuses me, man, because they passed a law where you can just walk around with your gun on your side and you don't have to have a permit.
You're right, but most people don't carry them on their side.
Yeah.
Most people still hide their guns, I guess you could say.
So, since I brought this up, let me ask a question. So if I was to go over there and you don't know who I am, and I got a gun on my side, and I'm not going upstairs, I'm just going to pay my tag, I bet you y'all gonna stop me.
When you come in the courthouse, you have to have a permit. Carry a gun in the courthouse.
So that's the law.
Not it's open carry.
To come in the courthouse, you say.
Come in.
I tell you what.
Okay, you the lawyer,
I'll
we'll
tell you what we gonna do. We not gonna debate this no more. You do your research and you do your research and we come back with the truth. Because right now, there's two different opinions. And I thought once they had the open carry law, then other than going in the courtroom, you could
Just carry.
put it on your side and carry it any way you want to carry it. I know you can't go to the school with it. They stopped that. Anyway, Ms. Brandon, here goes my check for that elected official scholarship.
Are you asking everybody else need to?
Everybody know they got to get their money up.
Can you put that account on the page?
Nah, she gonna do it. Let me say this. Rob, could you get with the new county administrator? I'm finna ask her a question, and I know she probably not familiar with it. How much money did we get in July for the use tax? So get with her and she can email me that information.
I think I got something on there too, it's like $800 and some thousand. I got it.
Is that?
Yeah, I got it from our board of directors meeting the other day. It was 800 and some thousand.
Okay, back to this NACO conference. I'm on the transportation committee and the young lady from Louisiana, let me see what her name is. It's Cynthia Lee, she's the president on their board, and on behalf of the board, I sit on. Counties make a case for FEMA reform on Capitol Hill by President Cynthia Lee on behalf of NACO before the U.S. Transportation and Infrastructure Committees at a hearing. And from what I heard, that they trying to get it where we pay all our when FEMA come in here, we pay the money and then it got to be reimbursed. Is that not true?
For what now?
FEMA.
Yes.
So what
And I'll
they
do this
trying
long
to
time
do
before we get it.
is get the money paid directly to the county instead of somebody else getting it, then they reimbursing us.
Yeah, so typically FEMA goes to MEMA and then MEMA goes to us. And then MEMA also has their own match. It takes some time, sometimes a few years
Well,
to get
that's
that
the
money.
problem right there, Scott. That's why they're trying to lobby for something totally different. The family is seeking help and hunting for a missing man, and I don't know, I haven't heard, have they found Mr. Sherman, the 27-year-old young man was missing. I know his granddad, been knowing him all my life, and this family need all the help that they could get to try to locate Mr. Sherman. Let me say this, and I don't know if people is aware of this. If you pay attention to our community, we have a lot of people walking around here and don't even know where they at. They are so, wherever they are, they don't even know where they at. And I know people get mad, but I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna say it again. All these little places where people can go up there, go in there and get these things they vaping on and doing all this, they're getting a little more than what they think they're getting. And this community needs to crack down, especially all these kids going up there getting these things, and it's a little more than you think, because you pay attention to them when they go in there and you see them an hour later. I don't know if they vaping, but they sure act kind of different. So if there ain't nothing in it, why they acting different? We need to pay attention more to our kids. And we have a round table at our conference about youth and kids. And at the end of the day, the conclusion was this. We don't have a kid problem. We got a parenting problem. Parents got to start doing their job and doing what's best for their child. I ain't talking about working 3 and 4 jobs and leaving your kid at home where the iPad and the TV and all this stuff can raise your child. I'm just gonna say it. The majority of the stuff I see, especially in the black community, by the rappers and the TV shows that we allow our kids to watch, is not safe and not good for our kids. And people need to realize that. Obituaries. My sympathy goes out to the Beach family, the McKnight family, the Fitzgerald family, the Patterson, the Woods, the Reynolds, the Ely family, the Carter, the Jackson, the Jones, the Dixon, the Ross, the Hill, the Garden family, the Hammett, the McCoy, the Luss, the Scales, the Rogers, and the Sims family, and the family of Nolan Wells. I'm gonna say this. We need to keep the main thing, and all this other foolishness, we don't need to be worrying about, because the main thing is finding out what actually happened to the young man. Just like finding out what happened to the young man missing in Adams County and all that other stuff, you don't even need to be dealing with that. And I just want to thank this community, because I don't know, sometimes the Lord will turn negative stuff into positive stuff, man. It seems like everywhere I go now, man, people be talking about, oh, you a celebrity. I don't even know what they talking about. But guess what? My grandparents went through hell in America. And my opinion is, if you don't know your history, your history will repeat itself. And I can't control what's going on in no other community. It's hard to control what's going on in Adams County. But I do think this, if the people bring their problems to the table, 9 times out of 10 we can find some solutions. Instead of taking your problems to everywhere but the people that could solve the problem. I mean, everybody do social media, whatever the case may be. I don't do social media, so you're not gonna get no problem solved on social media when you can come to Supervisor Gray, Supervisor Gaines, Wilson, Middleton, and Hutchins, dealing with county government. At the end of the day, she's gone. I want to give her the rest of these things. We need to find a way to come together and do some praying, because all this other foolishness, it ain't gonna work. If we're gonna get jobs in this community, then a lot of the negative stuff got to go. Because every time we send out a negative message, all the people want to locate here, they hear that message too. And guess what? They ain't coming here. And we helping them not to come here by sending out a negative message. Sometimes you have to. I understand that. But if you want jobs to come here and you want people to invest in our community, they sure not gonna invest in every time they pick up the paper or look at social media, we got all this negative energy in our community. So Rev, could you get with your Christian sisters and brothers, and we need to get on a serious praying venue where we can pray for our community? That's the only way you're gonna get the devil out of this community. You're gonna pray him out. That concludes my report.
Supervisor Gaines.
Yeah, on last year I brought something up, and I'm gonna bring it back up to the board and ask us to consider. When I was with the county back in 2011, we had litter control officers, and they actually absorbed into the road department, and things had tightened up. But I think as our budget season, we really need to look back into having probably 2 litter control officers. I promise you they can say be all across the county right now. So, you know, we built in, I think, about 4 people in the Robert budget last year. I don't exactly know. It ain't really important who they go under, Robert, John, or whoever, but I really do think we need to think about a salary and 2 people. I just want to bring that to the board, because you heard the trash report, and that's the trash report with 1 crew down. So, you know, and I know I ride all the time, and when you ride in the neighborhoods, they don't pick up inside a lot of the neighborhoods. They pick up on main roads, and if you move around here, it's a lot of trash, and they would definitely have something to do. And the second thing that we missed on the meeting, I did attend the funeral of Mr. Don Gordon over there. He has been a pillar of our community, at that trying in that barbershop for over 50 years, and he has been just in so many different things here. And I would like to make a motion for to have a resolution presented to his family in the remembrance of Mr. Don.
Okay, I got a motion by Supervisor Gaines. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried.
All right, that concludes my report.
Thank you. Supervisor Wilson.
Okay, I got I didn't have a flyer with me, but they are opening the pickleball courts on August 8th at Beaupre. Grand opening for it is on 8/8/26 from 9 to 11. They'll have their 10 courts ready. That they had to move from, leave out of Duncan Park because they didn't want to do anything over there. And I'm still saying it's a shame. And the city made a bad mistake on that deal, because they could have tournaments here. It's just a mess. But anyway, that's a good thing for the people that play pickleball, which it's like the #1 growing sport in America. And I hate that it did it that way. couple things. I really need to see what Scott report's gonna reveal before I go to it. Ricky, I do have a question or two for you.
Yes, sir.
I noticed we do the pledge every time we open a meeting. And you do not salute the flag. And I just wondered if you could tell me why that is. Because you always want to be a pillar of the community and be responsible. I want to understand what the protest is about.
Well, I'm glad you asked, Supervisor, because when it get to the point where it's liberty and justice for all, then I salute the flag. Right now, I don't feel like it's liberty and justice for all. So that's the reason I don't salute the flag. Salute the flag.
Did you ever have anybody that served in the armed forces?
My dad.
And you still don't salute the flag?
No, sir.
Mine died for that flag. And I don't know how anybody could not, I mean, you're pledging it to God and the country itself. I just don't understand, never understood it. Now there's a difference of opinion.
I like you asking that question because, we all different. We all come from different lives of the world. And what make you happy might not make me happy. And my dad ain't never raised no follower and a whole lot of stuff that he told me to do. And I did some of it I didn't. But I follow God. I ain't never followed man. I follow God. So I get on my knees and pray every night to God. And some people around here act like they God. But I follow the real God. That's just me. It worked for me.
Well, it's our country and we're all supposed to, if you were called on to fight for it, it makes me question whether you would or not.
Mr. Ricky Gray, who do you think gave us our country?
Sir. Excuse me?
Who do you think gave us our country?
Who do you think you talking to?
I said Mr. Ricky
Well,
Gray.
you ain't lying. You ain't got no business talking to me. See, that's your problem.
Supervisor Wilson has the floor. You have to be recognized when you speak.
Oh, he don't get recognized.
You can recognize. I won't say anything ugly.
He ain't gonna be recognized. Hey, you can talk to me when the meeting over with me and you can have a conversation. We can do that.
I think we need to clean it up right now while it's being recorded. Why do you not?
Mr. You don't have to, because you have to be recognized, okay?
When you recognize me, I'll talk.
A couple of weeks ago, you did your report, you talked about a supervisor abusing his power.
Who?
You did.
I did.
Okay. I'd like you to expand on that to know what that was about.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, and who was abusing their power? And getting special favors? You even said that,
You ought to be the last one sitting up here asking nobody about abusing their power when you accused the 3 black supervisors of taking a bribe on the trash.
No, I only accused two. I only accused 2 of them.
Who was the 2?
You.
And who? It was a false? So you mean that you accused of that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I ain't never took a bribe. I promise you, if I took a bribe, I wouldn't be here.
I'm saying, if you said I abused power some kind
I didn't call your name.
Okay, what you did also say is you.
I didn't call your name.
Where I was taking advantage of the,
Did you hear me call your name?
There's nobody else in here.
I can play it back.
This stands for. Go ahead and play it back. 'Cause I might can pick up on a few more things.
I think you turned in 3 of us. It wasn't 2, it was 3 of us.
Not only us,
No,
everybody
you
else black
just
in
want
the
more
town.
involved because it makes it look like it's racial.
You had, it was.
But, you said that our medical bill rates are going up, our medical rates are going up because of certain supervisors.
I did not say that.
You sure did.
No, you looking with somebody else to put somebody on somewhere else. That ain't come out of my mouth.
I don't know if I can ever believe another thing that comes out of your mouth after you say that. You say you got it on
You
tape.
can run the meeting back.
I'd like to see it.
That's why they have a meeting with cameras in it. I didn't do it.
All right.
I didn't do what y'all did. Wait till the camera and made a motion.
We're gonna stop here,
y'all couldn't
we're
be
gonna
a
stop
good
here
witness here,
because
okay?
this, we need to deal with county government and let's try to
Well,
stay.
he can try with it, it ain't gonna work.
Let's stay on task.
Mr. Slover, Are you gonna give some updates on a couple of matters? Are we gonna do executive session? I mean, I see.
We are having an executive session, yes.
I wanted to know if, we had an employee leave justice court. And, I think the next interview needs to be done on her. And I hadn't heard anybody mention that we need to hire somebody for justice court in her place. Is that gonna be on, or we're gonna advertise for it?
Yeah, we need to hire someone. We need to advertise for it. Executive session, have Sharon.
No. That
You can just do a motion up.
We just need a motion to advertise. Cressida, y'all talk to Cressida and everything, she has asked for a person to be hired and everything? She has, okay. All
But
right.
you haven't done an exit interview with, the lady that left?
Ms. Jefferson has.
Okay.
Did she give you that information? Okay, that's in your report.
You want to see the exit interview?
No, you have.
Will we do that in executive
you have to
session?
replace
quickly?
that.
We want to see the
Yeah,
exit
we
interview?
present-
Yeah, I do know, yes, I do know more
Okay, I'll ask
about
her
that
for that.
because,
And you wanted to advertise to replace?
yeah, we need to advertise for a replacement. We need a motion on that?
Yeah, we need to have that for our motion, right?
That's a motion.
Second.
Got a motion by Supervisor Wilson and a second by Supervisor Middleton. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the ayes have it, motion carries.
Do, we have to, make a motion to approve the letter to the state auditor concerning,
We already did that.
Okay.
As was submitted on Friday morning. Did you meet with me on Thursday?
I believe, yeah, okay.
There was a request for investigation based on the district attorney's office several months ago. It didn't get submitted, so we didn't submit that.
For any of y'all that don't know what they're talking about, $40,000 in missing from justice court, and somebody needs to be in jail. And I don't think it was just one person that took it, but that's what the investigation is gonna be about, by the state auditor. Because we cannot let those kind of things happen.
That's all you have?
No, I'm looking. Okay. I do. Are you gonna discuss swimming pool hours, or is Tawana gonna touch on that and what we're gonna do about the swimming pool?
On the swimming pool, I had hoped to be able to discuss that, but no, probably too long.
Okay. What about, when we had our last MAIS meeting down on the coast, we had sent a letter out. Is there any form or anything that was filled out that shows what all was given, what was donated?
We never filled the form out. We're not going to give it. But it was all given out, I can tell you that.
No, what I'm saying, it would be a good idea to always, if we were ever, getting funds in or something, we need to have it documented. Because if people come back and say, hey, I gave $200, I want a letter, for my, agent or whatever, when they go to do their taxes.
They don't get-
Because if they're gonna audit or whatever, 'cause I don't know if they can write it off or not, but
Yeah, they can write it off.
for safety's sake, I think we need to keep up with
What they ask for is a W-9 from bookkeeping, so sometimes, if they wanna write it off, tax write-off, they get a W-9 from, I have them submit them a W-9.
I just think in the future we need to keep, make sure the secretary keeps up with it. That's all until, Scott does his. I might have something else. Yield the floor.
Supervisor Middleton?
Yeah, most of my items were touched on here, departmental reports. Mr. Dollar, I do want to say that I got some compliments the other day on your crew, and I just want you to know, usually don't get compliments, just complaints, but I know it's hot, just like it is for the garbage guys, and our road crew does a great job, and I just wanted to pass that along to you. Also want to pray for our students and staff going back to school, starting, some I think have already started, and some starting next week. Our kids who are traveling to college, just want to pray for all these kids going back to school and starting a new year, and just keep them in your prayers for a successful year. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Deputy Clerk, Page Bennett.
I don't have anything today.
Chancellor Clerk, Brenda
I
Lewis.
just have 2 items. I would like to request the quarterly mental health report to be spread across the minutes pursuant to House Bill 16.
You heard the request. Got a motion by Supervisor Gaines. Second by Supervisor Middleton. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried.
And we received the July mill report from the Sheriff's Office. Just need to have that spread across the minutes, please.
You heard the request. Got a motion by Supervisor Gaines. Got a second? Second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Attorney Scott Slover.
Good. Operating lease for SkyWest Airlines for the terminal.
Is this something that we signed? This is that, what's needs to
We
be signed?
approve for it?
Yeah. I need a motion.
So moved.
Got a motion by Supervisor Middleton.
Second.
And a second by Supervisor Gaines. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried.
Final change order for the terminal. Need a motion to do the standard adoption.
You heard the request. Can I get a motion? Motion by Supervisor Gaines. Can I get a second? Second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried.
And several items to be determined.
County Administrator, Tawana Williams.
Yes, I have one budget amendment. I'm requesting a motion to move $2,000 from the contractual line item, this is for E911, into the office and supplies and materials line item.
So moved.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gaines. Can I get a second? Second by Supervisor Wilson.
My
Any discussion?
apologies, that's not correct. This is for. It is for E911, I'm sorry, it is for E911. I have a budget amendment and a budget transfer, that is for E911. So it is for E911.
So is that motion for both?
No.
Just for
Just
the
one.
amendment?
That's for the budget amendment.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried.
All right. I'm also requesting a budget transfer to transfer $23,499.79 from the E911 account, and that's account fund 097, into the general E911 fund. And that's account 109.
You heard the request.
So moved.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gaines. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried. That's all you have? All right. What I have here, I have a request from Maintenance Department to hire a full-time person. Jordan E.
Replacement?
I don't know.
Did he let him go?
Did what happened?
He didn't have the one back. He had two leave.
He had two, this maintenance. Okay, and the pay rate of $15. No, it's changed it to $16, from the pay rate of $15 to $16. What happened? Oh. Okay, annual salary $33,280.
So this is because he's been there 6 months or something?
Had to be. I think this person has already been there and he's changing the pay rate going up.
Yeah.
Did we do that? For maintenance? Don't we do that?
What happened?
Got the right one? Cause I didn't even know I was to do that. It's not John. It's not John. She got maintenance of it. What department is 430? You need.
Hang on, let me check.
001. 115, 430.
What is the setting, this one?
So maintenance.
Maintenance.
Yeah, it's gonna be an O1.
001.
Maintenance is an O1.
No, it's just got something else on there.
151.
Oh, 151, that's gonna be.
You know, which one already signed?
Yeah, but still, we will never have paid the fixed of maintenance at 6 months. Up on one
The
side,
approach
you
on
know.
none of this, all I do is give people, I ain't do nothing, so I ain't got it. They got it. But that's not like a raise, it's just, there, that's
That's a raise. Same reason. I'm gonna put the side of me to refine out what.
Call John.
1-0. The next one.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this
30
is
sounds like a projector.
Marla Swayze. This is telecommunication.
That's why we have it in the.
He's worked here for it.
This
Is he a rehire?
This is something else. This is a pay change too. This is a decrease in Marla Swayze. This something else. Telecommunication.
Do we have him?
From $20.83 to $19.83. Yes. I need a motion.
Thank you.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gaines. Can I get a second? Second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried.
He's stepping down to supervisor position.
Tax appeal, no.
Next thing I have at our board of directors meeting, last week. Is this the one that's already?
What's wrong now?
Yeah, we're just.
He was hired to, help out since co-op.
And we started him off at $15. Now he's going up to $16. But just like a raise in the middle of the budget. What does?
Yeah, Cora and, didn't we put him under God?
Yeah, they're the jets. They're the jets.
Didn't used to be gone. but-
So who did this? Who asked for this space?
The sheriff signed it?
Yeah.
Need to ask her.
They need to come and ask when they ask for something like this. Okay, I'm gonna just hold off on that. At the board of directors meeting, last week that I went to, they are offering a massive risk management, conference. And it's gonna be for county administrators. They're gonna have a class for county administrators, human resource, and IT. And, I feel like some of our, employees need to attend. Maybe our county administrator need to attend, and our human resource person, and the IT person, because they're gonna have something on, cyber.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm asking for travel of them for August the 11th.
Where's it gonna be?
It's in Flowood, 11th through the 12th. And they could probably look at the agenda. I got an agenda for what day they need to attend, so I get that to them. The county administrator, human resource, and IT. And this is an application that you all need to fill out.
And so, not purchasing
It's
anymore?
not for purchase.
Okay, just wanna make sure.
Okay, no, it's not for purchase. Okay.
I made,
All right, I got a motion.
I made the motion.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gaines. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried. I'll pass this to you so they can get for that. Okay, another thing, I got a letter, and this is from Mr. Roscoe Bones. He is asking the Board of Supervisors to support a historic marker in honor of Barney Scobie. And I'm thinking the marker is gonna be more than this, but he's asking us for at least 2,800 on this marker. So, he's also asking that the marker be placed in front of the Board of Supervisors office in honor of Barney Scobie, who was the first African-American supervisor here. So, we need to get a motion for this in support of it. I feel like that is an honor for him.
Second.
So I got a motion by Supervisor Gray and a second by Supervisor Gaines. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
I have discussion.
Go ahead.
Does the city have any say on what we put in the city? Or does it matter?
We typically take a position that the county can operate independently with the city and their ordinances.
Okay.
They've never given us trouble before, so.
Just never know.
All in favor say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried. I also got a travel form here, just maybe a reimbursement, I just need to say. All right, every year we get $1,000 from the county. The county supports the Oktoberfest that's gonna be held in November, the first week in November. So we asking that the funds be released. Y'all ready to do it? Okay. All right, thanks. All right, that's all I have.
Okay, I got one more thing before you get. I'd like to ask for, to send out RFP for the garbage contracts. In 13 days or 10 days, there's going to be a hearing. If they pull the plug on that garbage, what are we gonna do? We need an emergency contract.
Then you would do what we did before and get an emergency contract.
I'd like to have it already sent out so we could have some people that know what's about to happen. In my opinion, I've watched all this garbage being picked up the last couple of weeks. It's been in back of pickup trucks, it's been on flatbed trailers. Trucks are broke down, people are sick, they're not hiring people. I think they're in an exit strategy. They're gonna get all they can while they can, but they know this is coming up. But I think that we need a motion for RFP for emergencies, 30 day, or is it a 90-day contract?
You don't need to do an emergency, you declare emergency and you enter a contract. You don't have to do an RFP for the emergency contract. We didn't do that before when we had a break. 2 different times that you did.
I just didn't wanna have a loss of service.
Absolutely.
You don't want to have a lawsuit either, you in the lawsuit anyway, you ain't got 10 days to deal with it. And you gotta go, I mean, I'm just as mine, and garbage is a problem, but if you're already in a lawsuit and you got open court going on, you don't wanna do anything right at the end of 10 days and cause us to be liable for that money. That's a lot of money that we end up being paying when we in litigation.
I'm just trying to make sure we're covered if something happens. But you're saying we don't need to do it?
No, we declare an emergency and do an emergency contract.
Okay, that's all I had.
Because I think that is an emergency, not having garbage picked up. And that's done here, we've done it in the past. you would cross the river, we may walk off the contract, so I think that's why you have that statute.
Make a motion to close terminate.
Hold on, I just want to say before we do that. I'm gonna go back to this thing of being accused, me being accused of taking bribery since Supervisor Wilson brought it up. When we voted for this contract, we voted because it was right.
Angela, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me,
No.
ma'am? Okay.
Yeah, now.
I say, okay, when we voted for this contract, we did the right thing, and we voted the right way. We didn't do anything wrong. We voted how we always voted, no matter what color they were or anything. Next thing I know, we get audited, being accused of taking bribery. And I see you brought that up again today, Supervisor Wilson.
Actually, he brought it up, but I,
Well, whoever brought it up. But my thing is, I hate to be accused of taking something and being reported for something I did not do. You sit here again and ask another thing about the door prizes that was given to the Mississippi Association for our conference. Something we've been doing before my time, that others, the board was doing before, even before my time. I've been here 30-some years. We've been doing this over 30-some years. Now all of a sudden, it's a problem like you're accusing once again. They always told me, when you're being accused and you're constantly being accused of something, you have to watch the one that's accusing you. Because them the ones are doing wrong and trying to throw it off on someone else. Then another thing is, we can sit up here and play these political games because that's what it's about. It's a political game. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. We try to work together. We ask that we work together. We cannot move this community forward with all this negativity and trying to bring each board member down. I refuse to do that. I'm not gonna bring any of my board members or say anything negative about them because it's not me. And I'm a more godly person to do that. So my thing is, I don't know what the problem is. And I know it's political and trying to get people to run against us. It's because it's what you do. And it hasn't worked in all these terms. And if it works, then it's time for me to go. But I serve my constituents in ways that you don't even consider you do for yours. My constituents know what I do. I'm out here. I'm doing things. I'm giving back. I can't say the same thing for you. But my thing is, we need to quit this because it's only making this board look bad. When we go places and people watch out, and I mean all over the world, you go conference, they're talking about us. Sitting up here, can't even get along because we're trying to accuse someone of something that is falsely accused. And I've noticed you bring your little entourage in here, I guess that's what they call to sit up here and film things. Only when Supervisor Gray and myself is talking. So that you can probably take it back give it to whoever you need to give it to, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Because I always felt like what God has for me is for me. No matter what man on this earth tried to do. And that's all I have to say.
Okay, first of all, this is the first time the board has ever put out a letter with our names on it, asking for money.
That is not true.
That's the first time I've seen one.
Check it last year. Check it the year before that.
That's the first time I've ever seen it. So, when I hear people giving all this stuff and there's no accountability for it, I think you put yourself in a really bad spot.
Supervisor Wilson, take your name off the thing. Take it off. Take
It's
your
too,
name off
it's too
the
late now.
Take your name off
I'm
the
just telling you that,
Take your name off the
Mr. Attorney,
station
do you think
names.
it's a good idea to take donations, not have a list of them? I mean, if you're running for office, you better have a list. But if somebody's giving you stuff to give away, you should have a list of it somewhere.
Yeah, if you're collecting things, you can keep up with it and make sure it gets dispersed where it's supposed to. It's a good idea.
It would save you. I'm not worried about me. The only thing I'm worried about is if somebody comes along and says, well, this didn't happen and it's got my name
Well, all
on it.
I got to do is go up there to the association and they'll tell them it happened. That's all they got to do.
That's
Check
all,
with the
that's all I want to
association.
say. So you just
Check with
assumed
the
I was
association.
accusing you of something. I'm just telling you, there needs to be documentation.
Check with the association. That's all they got to do. Check with the association. I'm quite sure they got a list of everything that come from each county. Anything else?
Yes, Madam President, I
Now,
have,
hold on.
okay, so
He had made a motion, Warren had made a motion for closed determination.
One ain't sitting here now.
Well, there was a motion on the floor.
We need to, before we go into executive session, she had one
She
more
got
item.
something.
I have one more item. I'm requesting a motion to enter into contract with Chuck Lambert for, a period of time that we have not yet determined. I'm believing about 60 days, to train myself on, the budget process for the board of supervisors.
Did Mitzi opt out of that?
Basically,
Okay.
she's working full-time, 8 to 5, she doesn't have time to do it.
You heard the request.
So
Can I get a
moved.
motion? Got a motion by Supervisor Wilson. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Supervisor Middleton. Any discussion?
I just want everyone to know that Chuck helped us in the past. Chuck's got extensive county knowledge. He was a county administrator in Pike County for a long time. And he helped us in the past between county administrators, so he's already got knowledge of Adams County and our situation. So he'll be good in that role.
Did you get the pay rate?
The pay rate is $70 per hour.
So it's the same one that he did last time, which is also the same rate that the board previously had offered
It was
for.
50 last time.
Was it 50 last time?
Mhm.
All right.
I'm not talking about that, but said to go, everything is fine.
No. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried. All right.
Now
Now I
you
need a close. A
Motion to
motion.
close determination.
Got a
Second.
motion by Supervisor Middleton and a second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried.